Alright, this is Rudy. I'm going to read day 3 of United States of America versus Schaefer Cox, Barney Coleman, Lonnie Vernon. Again, this is day 3. It's 277 pages, so this is going to take a long time. And there's 23 days in all. So, here we go. Call to order of the court at 8:34 a.m. Jury not present. All parties present. The clerk. All rise. His Honor, the court, the United States District Court of the District of Alaska is now in session with the Honorable Deaf Robert J. Bryan presiding. He's deaf, you know. Schaefer Cox said he was senile too.
Who?
The judge. He was deaf. He couldn't hear what's going on in the court. He had a hearing aid. And when he couldn't hear what was done, he asked the prosecution what he should do, and he just did what the prosecution said.
Oh my gosh, are you kidding?
No, and Schaefer said that he was senile too.
Oh my goodness. Retrial.
Okay, here we go. Please be seated. One item this morning. I have a note from juror number 5. Juror number 5, name. Just remembered today, had good friends arrested by the FBI 2 years ago. Was convicted and served time in jail. Charged for Muslim conspiracy of sorts. Will not prejudice my reasoning either way. Just thought you should know. Thank you. So I don't think that requires further inquiry, but there it is. Scrocky. We would maybe like to inquire how close of a friend they were to these people. I think I know what case she's talking about. Well, if you want to inquire, we can do that maybe at the first break rather than bring her in. I'll keep her if you help me to remember. Scrocky, yes, Your Honor. Okay, we're all set to go here. We are. And do you have your next witness? Yes. One quick matter, Judge. Yeah. We were thinking about timing last night, and we were wondering if you or the parties would like to move to a 1 hour lunch break. We think we have a pretty good handle on moving things forward, but we'd like to offer that up. We feel on timeline we're about half a day behind. Traverso, but it only helps out of town counsel. Have that little extra time, that's all. The court, let's take it day by day. Scrocky, all right. We'll see how we're going, and you know you're not the only guy from out of town, Mr. Traverso. Oh, I know that. The court, I got things I have to do too, and so the lunch hour is the time I can do it. But let's see. The judge got things he got to do. They're sending Cox to prison for 26 years, but the judge got things he got to do. Let's put the judge in prison and see if he gets things to do. If he gets a lunch hour anyway. Scrocky, certainly. The court, you don't need the time, and we can pick up half hour here and there. Why, we'll try and do that. Traverso, I could see doing that really soon, though. Pardon? I think we can do that fairly soon. Yeah, okay. Mr. Traverso, can you move that microphone closer, please? Thank you. The court, okay, now your assistant or investigator there was not introduced to the jury, was he? Mr. Port, yes. The court, you were yesterday? Mr. Port, in opening. The court, oh, okay, yeah, all right, I remember. And was the gentleman introduced? Okay, all right, okay, bring the jury in and we'll get to work. And Miss Lamoureux, I haven't looked at this yet, but I thank you, yeah, that will be very helpful. Jolene Godin, plaintiff's witness, resumes the stand. Previously sworn. The court, how's our witness this morning? The witness, doing fine, thank you, sir. The court, okay. Jury in at 8:37 a.m. All right, please be seated, and we will continue with Special Agent Godin this morning. Mr. Scrocky. Mr. Scrocky, yes, Your Honor. Direct examination continued by Mr. Scrocky. Good morning, Agent Godin. Good morning. If Madam Clerk could dim the lights for me briefly, could I have 138, please? Agent Godin, you spoke about Exhibit 138 yesterday. Do you recall that? Yes, I do. And when I mentioned yesterday that there was a yellow tag found there on the bookcase. Yes, and that, what does that depict? The yellow tag is an evidence marker that we placed when there was a piece of evidence that we were interested in seizing in at that location. All right. If you could dim the screen to jury, please. Can you pull up 140? Agent Godin, do you see Exhibit 140 in front of you? I do. And is that reflective of an item that was seized in association with the tag on the bookcase? Yes, it is. Okay. Move to admit offer 140. No objection. Duly. I object to the relevance. No, it may be admitted. 140 is an evidence. Could you publish that to the jury, please, Sean? By Mr. Scrocky. Agent Godin, if you could take a look at the Exhibit 140 there on the screen, yes. And can you read what's on the cover of that DVD? Yes, it says silencer video. Silencer video? Correct. Sean, can you blow up the envelope for me? Can you read, Agent Godin, what's up on the top? Yes, it says eBay item. Okay, there's an address, is there not? There is. Schaefer Cox, 1618 Scenic Loop, Fairbanks, Alaska. Is this the address that you were searching that day? Yes, it was. And there's a postmark on that as well. There is. It's dated 2008. You can't make out that the specific day, 2008, or month, 2008 is the year, though. If you could examine the contents of that envelope, which we placed in front of you, marked as Exhibit 147. Yes. Does that correspond to the photograph in Exhibit 140? Yes, it does. And so what's the physical exhibit? So that's the physical exhibit itself? Yes, it is. We are for 140. I'm sorry. Clerk, 147. Yes, I'm sorry, 147. 147, any objections? No objections from anyone. It may be admitted. Could you take that out of the envelope briefly and just display that to the jury for us? Do you want it all the way, or I can show? Just leave. That is fine, the way it is. Okay. And that the silencer video? Mm-hmm. What's it? Is it written in some type of ink where it says silencer video? Yes, it appears to be a Sharpie marker. Okay, Scrocky, if you could raise the lights, Denali. Thank you. Previously, I'll let you put that away. Go ahead. Sorry. Previously, to have you come in this morning, we had you review a document of some records. Do you see those in front of you? I do. And there are business records, to your knowledge? Yes. From a specific company? Yes. Do they reflect the receipt or transaction record for that video that you've shown us in Exhibit 147? Yes. And the purchase thereof? Yes, it does. And the address corresponds to the address that you're searching on the front of page in terms of the business records and who they belong to? The business records belong to eBay Incorporated and PayPal? Okay. Scrocky, Your Honor, we move for the admission of this document under the business records exception. We provided advance notice under FRE, blah, blah, blah. This is Exhibit 466. Any objections? No objections from all three. The court admitted 466. Denali, if you could dim the lights for us. Agent Godin, up on the left-hand side, Scrocky, if you could blow that up for me. There's some names there. Do you recognize the name of that account? I do. It's Schaefer Cox. And there's an email address for there as well, correct? Correct. What is the email address? It is schaefersecretary@hotmail.com. And do you have an understanding about where these records came from? These records, yes, I do. Where did they come from? From PayPal. Sean, if you could pull up 005. So for the record, the exhibit 466005. And Sean, if you could blow up the appropriate listing or enlarge that, thank you. Pretty detailed work. That's great. Thanks. That's great. Agent Godin, just to ask a couple of questions. I want you to look at this line here. Yes, does that year correspond to the envelope that you just spoke to us about with respect to Exhibit 140? It does. And does the title of what was purchased correspond to the writing that was on the DVD that you just showed us in the same exhibit? Yes, it does. It says How to Build a Silencer Suppressor Any Gun DVD Video. And the date of the purchase according to these records was when? 1/3/2008. January 3rd, 2008, correct. Okay, thank you. There's also an address, yes, that corresponds to the address you were searching. It is. It is the Scenic Loop address that we were researching. Okay, and who is it? Who is it directed towards? It is directed towards Marty Cox at that address. And then right there, Schaefer, okay, if you dim the screen for the jury and pull up 141, Agent Godin, do you see Exhibit 141? I do. That was seized from the house of Mr. Cox's residence by you. Yes, it was. It reflects the command structure, does it not? It does. Move We offer 141. No objection, no objection, no objection. It may be admitted. 141 admitted. Agent Golden, can you take a look at the top line with respect to this exhibit? Yes, it says Commanding General. And then it appears to have underneath that some other layers. Can you read this? Sure. The next layer is Company Commander, and then to the left it says Division Captains, and then to the right under Company Commander again it says Division Captains. And there appear to be the same on both sides under Division Captains, but then it goes to Unit Sergeant, Team Leaders, and again Unit Sergeant and Team Leaders on both sides. Okay, Team Leaders being there at the bottom, correct? Mr. Scrocky, if you could use the display and go to 142. Exhibit 142, Agent Golden, does it depict something that was seized during the search of a resident that day? Yes, it does. Is it a specific electronic item? Yes. Okay, and do you know who seized that? Yes, I do. Who did? Who did? The Alaska State Troopers seized this item. All right. We offer Exhibit 142. No objection from anybody. It may be admitted. Scrocky, in what part of the residence was this photo taken? That was in the living room on the main level of the house. It was on an end table. Okay, in the tag where it says number 3 here is the item you're talking about? Correct. Can you tell us what the item is and who seized it? It is an iPhone that was seized by Sergeant Wilson of the Alaska State Troopers. And the color of the iPhone, black. Scrocky, if you can reduce and go to 157, Agent Golden 157 reflects the upcoming discussion. 3 items of evidence we'll be talking about, yes. Assuming they are admitted and they depict the location of where those 3 items were found. Yes, it does. We offer 157. No objection from anybody. 157 may be admitted. Agent Golden, I'm going to turn your attention. I don't think we need to enlarge this. First of all, where is the location of this photograph here that we're looking at in the home? This is the area that I described yesterday as the den type of area of the bedroom. Off the bedroom, there are the curtains that you can see in the background there. And with respect to the whiteboard we were looking at yesterday and the association with those curtains, what is the association of that? The whiteboard was behind those curtains. Those curtains here? Correct. I'm going to have you focus on that CD you can see in the photo there that I've circled. Yes. And there's a drawing of one of those CDs. Do you see that? You know, it's a long stretch to go from a silencer video to conspiracy to commit murder.
Yeah, like, where's the victim?
I think I might have even watched silencer videos before.
I wish I had one so my ears don't hurt.
I don't think it's illegal to own a silencer.
No.
Okay. Anyway, I do. What is it? It's a skull and bone. It's a skull and crossbones. All right. Now we're going to talk about some items that were found in this stack here. Yes, and actually that was the command structure we just looked at. Isn't that right? Correct. It's under a few pages underneath the top sheet of paper. He's got a command structure.
Oh, my.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, my.
And
how scary.
Yeah. And actually, that was the command structure we looked at. Isn't that right? Correct. It's a few pages underneath the top sheet of paper. All right. So 141, the command structure was found. Was found there? Correct. Now, I want to turn your attention to the bottom of the photo that I circled there. The page on the bottom right. And was that found was placed in the photograph as well? Yeah, that's a notepad. It was found in the same den area. It was placed on the floor there, though to take a photo of it. Okay, so we're not saying it was found here in this location. No, it was just there for photographic purposes. You're correct. Scrocky, can we have 156? Agent Golden, I believe you have in your hand Exhibit 152. Yes. Does this correspond to photograph in the Exhibit 156? Yes, it does. And does it have the skull and crossbones that you referenced earlier in your testimony?
You know what? They need to get the anonymous guys to break into all these people's emails.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
He keeps asking about the skull and crossbones like it's so what's the word when you make somebody look bad? It's not intimidating, but it's like he's found this great evidence and he keeps saying it. And does it have the skull and crossbones that you referenced earlier in your testimony?
You mean the stuff that they put on the hydrofluorosilicic acid?
Oh, right, yeah.
That they add to our water every day?
That's right, yeah. There's a word for, gosh, help me out. When you say something that makes somebody look bad, it's called it's not intimidating, it's...
Foolish?
No.
Silly?
No, it's like you made them look guilty even though they're not. It's, you guys that are hearing this, I know you know what I'm talking about. I'll find it afterwards. Anyway, let's keep going on. Oh, that bothers me. Yeah, okay, it does. We offer 152 and 156. No objection, no objection, no objection. 152 and 156 admitted. So, Agent Golden, can you tell me how many in 152, how many CDs there are in there? Oh my goodness, I hope they don't come to our house. We got a lot of CDs. There's one in and out. There's two in there. Okay, all right. 2 CDs? There is, and there's, if I can open this, I believe the case for these is in here. All right.
How could the jury not see how ridiculous this is?
I don't know. Well, they have 23 days. I think they were so mad at the end of 23 days they had been having to sit through all this stuff. They probably took it out on Schaefer. Like, just send the guy to prison. We're tired of sitting here.
That's bad.
I know. All right. Is in the brown paper bag. All right. But there are 2 CDs. Do they both have a skull and crossbones on them? Do they both have a skull and crossbones on them? They do. Okay, similar to what you're seeing in the picture in 156 and the one in the photo in number 2 on it, as does the DVD right here. All right, and if you can just hold up those to the jury. Can you take a look at those? We need 153. Do you have Exhibit 153 in front of you? Yes, I do. That's the notebook that was sent, reflected in the earlier photograph on the floor on the right-hand side. Plaintiff's Exhibit 153, yes. All right, that would have been Exhibit 157, and does that correspond to the notebook that was in the photograph and then also that you seized that day? Yes, the Alaska State Trooper seized, but yes, the trooper seized that. Yes, okay, do you recall seeing that in the home or on that day? I do. Okay, can you pull it out of the envelope, please, and just thumb through the pages briefly? Yes. There's some information there concerning some operational instructions. Is it fair to say? Yes, there is. And some other information concerning militia activity and or security details, things like that. Correct. Scrocky, we offer 153. No objection, no objection, no objection. 153 admitted. Thank you, Sean. So, Agent Golden, can you see this page here? This page here up at the top. There's got a. Okay, we're moving on here.
Inculpate.
Inculpate. It's like when you put a pistol in somebody's room to inculpate them in the crime, even though that.
Implicate.
Implicate. That's inculpate and implicate, the same thing. Implicated maybe, anyway.
Implicated. You're implicated.
Yeah, or he's had a skull and crossbones on a notepad. We're on page 21. We got
lots of people have that on their tattoos. Are they guilty of conspiracy?
Conspiracy to commit murder? Yeah. Okay, we're just on page 21, baby. Okay, there's a number sequentially. They've all been checked off. Do you see those? I do. Could you read the first 7, please? Number 1 is the problem. Number 2 is the potential future. Number 3 is the evidence. Number 4 is their defense. Number 5 is the opportunity around their defense. And number 6, our high calling as men. Number 7, the particulars for us. All right. And in the end, number 7 down below, do you see there's a listing there? Scrocky, can you blow that up for me? Do you see that listing there? I do. What does it say? Just number 6? Yes. It says KJNP. Can you take a look? Can you take us back underneath that 7-item list? There are some other boxes that have been checked. Yes. Can you read those for us? Big turnout on 23rd. The next one is security afterwards until press story is out. And then some names. Scott, Mike, Ben, Bill, Lonnie, me, Coleman, and Joel. Okay, we have Coleman under press. We have an arrow going towards it, correct. The next line is the exit crew, concrete camp out. The next one is press one-liners. And then the final line, which is not checked, is worst case, I pray not. Right there? Yes. Scrocky, can we have 002 for the record? This is Exhibit 153, which we have marked as -002. Is this the second page of what's on the notebook? It is. I want you to examine at the top, Agent Golden, where it says exit team. Yes, and then just make your way down to number 4. Okay, number 1, exit crew leader is Major Thiesing. Number 2, no ID or valuables. Number 3, no escalation at all. Number 4, to cops only. Say, if you touch me, you are acting in defiance of the law at our peril. Scrocky, Robinson, can you blow that up for me? Can you try maybe enlarging it? It might help you read it again. If you, at own peril. Okay, so if you touch me, you're acting in defiance of the law at own peril. At own peril, correct. All right. There's some more what appear to be instructions on the left-hand side, 6 through 10. If you could read those. Sure, number 6, look happy. Number 7, short statements. Number 8, disappear in cars. Number 9, if police and... Do you want us to blow up that for you? Yes, please. It appears to be encounter. If police encounter, call Major Barney. And then it provides a telephone number. So encounter is what you get out of that. Encounter, okay. Number 10.
Ooh, did the prosecution just say the word blow up?
Yeah.
Conspiracy to...
I think. Yeah, he just said, do you want us to blow that up for you?
Uh-oh.
He's trying to commit a bomb in the middle of the courtroom.
He needs an indictment.
Yeah. Help the security if you can, and then an end of mission. Justice is going to come to all these evil bastards. There's no doubt about it. Okay. Let's move to the right-hand side of the page where it says cops from 6 to 10. Cops 6. Don't run, just defy. Cops 7. Don't give name. Cops 8. Don't consent, object. Cops 9. We may be held 72 hours. Cops 10. We may be charged. 11. No photo mugshots. 12. No prints. 13. No DNA. 14. Be of good cheer. Smile for press when we get out. End of mission. On that page, Agent Golden, there are 2 diagrams. Do you see those? I do. Scrocky and Sean, if you can enlarge the first one for us. Do you have any understanding about what those diagrams represent? No, I can read the word jail on the right-hand side, but I don't have there. Yes, over there, take a look at the real close. What does that first letter look like? H. How about the second one? I believe E. Okay, probably an A. Could be an A. Okay, we got 2 slashes there. Could be Hall. Okay, could be Hall, yes. Okay, Scrocky. If you could, Sean, get us the other diagram. Agent Golden, this diagram got an arrow that sort of runs a direction. Do you have any idea what this diagram represents? I don't. There's a staircase, what appears maybe stairs there. Is that something you can interpret from that? I can. I don't know the location, but it does appear to be a staircase. Whatever it is, and the arrow just keeps going out that way. Yes, it does. Okay, Sean. If we could have 153, 10003. Agent Golden, does that represent the third page? Yes, it does. Of 153, yes. Up at the top, can you read this? It says G9 security team for Schaefer, Marty, Bartles. Could that be a 6? It could be a 6 as well. Okay, a 6 or a G, 6-9, 6-9 man security team. For Schaefer, Marty, and Bartles. Yes, and there's a listing here where we've got these square boxes running the whole length of that list. Yes, on the left-hand side under prep. Yes, could you read that prep section of the list? It says rifle, pistol, armor, OC, CS grenades, phone, or radio. Do you know what OC or CS grenades are? I think that the grenades that the FBI used to kill 17 children in Waco.
I can't think of a more boring job in the world than being a judge.
Well, that's why there's so many of them that are sexual deviants.
Oh, yeah. Like the one who was paddling his young boy defendants that came through his courtroom.
Right. And I think there was one that had a machine that he was using underneath the bench while the court was going on, and he got caught. Yeah, you can look that up on the internet. It's true. I have somewhat of an understanding, yes. Okay, you've seen them in connection with this case. I have. Okay, so rifle, pistol, armor, OC, CS grenades, phone, or radio. And then we have another listing underneath that. Do we not? We do, under execution. Who's the security leader according to the page, Major Barney? And if you could read the rest of that execution checklist, please. Put gear in cars, park close, hurry out and arm up. Don't shoot unless life is in danger. In parenthesis. Don't shoot unless life is in danger. It sounds like a conspiracy to commit murder, doesn't it? It sounds like what every honest, regular person should do. Don't shoot unless life is in danger. Agents. Each 3-man team, grab man, 1 principal, 2 followers, go to safe house, 2 cars, KJNP 730, watch all entrances and stop cars, local, kill, not okay. Agent only if life in danger. All right, so we have an instruction with respect to don't shoot if life is in danger with parentheses for agents, correct? And I want you to go down to this listing here, and that references what? Okay. That's a very important statement that even I remember Schaefer even bringing out.
What?
It says agent only if life is in danger, and the word if there is a critical thing. If your life is in danger and you think somebody's about to shoot you,
you got to stop the.
Yeah, you got to stop it.
Yourself.
Anybody should do that. It doesn't matter if the guy's a freaking special agent. If the special agent is about to kill you, you know,
have to defend yourself.
You have to defend yourself. Exactly. And that's all that said. It says if your life is in danger, and it said only if. That's not conspiracy to commit murder. Anyway, conspiracy to kill federal agents, I think, was a charge. And there's underneath KJNP, there's another instruction. Do you see that? Watch all entrances and stop cars. Okay, and then the last two are 2 instructions with respect to local kill and agents, correct? Do you see the listing there where it says hurry out? I do. And at the end of that, there's another instruction. It says arm up. Okay, thank you. Scrocky, if we could have the lights, Denali, thank you. Agent Sutherland placed in front of you, Exhibit 149, yes. Do you see that you've seen that item before coming in today? Yes, I have. And that was something that was seized from the residence, it is, an electronic device, it is. Who seized it? Sergeant Wilson with the Alaska State Troopers. Do you have occasion to see it in the residence during your search? I did. We offer 149, no objection from all 3. Scrocky, if you could just take it out of the envelope, Agent Golden, just a minute, I'm sorry. Do you have any? I said no objection. It may be admitted. 149 is in evidence. If you could show that to the jury, just hold it up, and that the evidence is what kind of evidence? This is an iPhone. A black iPhone? A black iPhone, correct? Okay, thank you. You have in front of you Exhibit 150, yes. And if you could stand up and just examine the contents of that for us, yes. Do you recognize those items as being in the home when you searched on March 10th, 2011? I do. And they are items that are designed to protect people in the event of some sort of, how do I phrase this? They could be used as an item to protect somebody in the event of some sort of gas. Correct? Okay, we offer 150, no objection, no objection, no objection. 150 may be admitted. Oh, Agent Golden, if you could pull out some of the items in 150, what are those? Those are gas masks. And do you have a count of how many gas masks are in the box? Hey, you know what, Aaron? I think we got gas masks. I think I saw them on sale on eBay.
We didn't buy them yet, did we? No.
Oh, we didn't buy them. I thought I bought them.
No.
We don't. You know what? I do think I want some gas masks, though. There's different. I might have a gas mask around here if we looked hard enough.
I never saw it.
I think I bought some at a garage sale.
You could use some scuba gear.
There's different styles, but there are all 5. All 5 together. There's 5 gas masks. Oh my goodness. Okay. Anything else in the box with respect to the gas mask? The canisters that are used on the gas mask, on front of the gas mask. Okay. Thank you. So 5 total. Can I just set down this on the floor? Sure. For now. Do you recognize the box you have there that we've marked in Exhibit 154? I do. And how you recognize that without going into the contents? Where did you see it? I saw this in the residence of the Scenic Loop that we searched on March 10th. All right, Scrocky. If we could dim the lights quickly. Thank you, Denali. I need 133, please. Agent Golden, do you recall talking about this Exhibit 133, which has been admitted? Page 32. I do. And at the bottom right-hand side, do you see something there in the photograph that corresponds to 154 that you have in front of you? Yes, I do. It's the same box. Okay. And is this a box related to the type of device that is used for the law enforcement and or restraining individuals? Yes, we offer 133. I'm sorry, we offer 154. No objection, no objection, no objection. 154 admitted. If we could have the lights, Madam Clerk. Agent Golden, can you describe to the jury what's in the box, please? There are 8 individual boxes. Each box contains 1 set of thumb cuffs with 2 handcuff keys. Can you take it out of your box and show it to the jury, please? He ran a militia, for goodness sakes. He's going to have handcuffs and gas masks and rifles and ammunition. That's what militias do. I have never used thumb cuffs, but regular handcuffs work like this, and that's how you put them on. And there's the locking mechanism for the handcuff key. So they go like that, correct? Behind your knuckle on your thumb. Mm-hmm.
What about all those kinky sex shops? Are they in trouble too?
I guess so, yeah. No, it's so inculpating to have thumb cuffs. Yes, how many are in that box? There are 8. 8 thumb cuffs. Oh my goodness. And there's an address on that box. There is. Who's it addressed to? It's addressed to Schaefer Cox at the Scenic Loop address. Is there a postmark of the date of the receipt on that box? There is. It's February 7th. February 7th, 2011. Correct. All right. Let me come up and get some of those exhibits out of your way. We're going to shift gears for a little bit. Okay, Agent Godin, in connection with what work in Fairbanks on this case, do you have any occasion to work with the execution of another search warrant? I did. When was that? That was the day after the search on the Scenic Loop address of March 11th. And if you could describe for the jury where that search warrant took place and what you were searching and with who. The search warrant took place. We were using an indoor garage space area at the airport in Fairbanks, and we were searching a travel trailer type. It was a trailer, the contents of the trailer, using an indoor garage space, and the other folks that were there were other FBI agents from the ATF as well, and were also present at that location, and Alaska State Troopers. So you had FBI, ATF, and troopers, correct? And your warrant, the FBI's warrant, in other words, yes, authorized you to search for what type of device items? It authorized us to search for certain types of weapons, explosives, specific types of documents that would have contained particular individuals of types of content and documents, those types of things. All right, Mr. Scrocky, if we could dim the lights, Denali, and Sean 340, please. Let's try it this way. Agent Golden, do you see 330, Exhibit 330? I do. That depicts the item you searched. Yes, it does. Sean, if you could move to 332, is that a photo of the item you searched in the storage area? It is. And 333, please. Does that depict the inside of the trailer that you mentioned you were searching? Yes, it does. We offer, Your Honor, 330, 332, 333. No objection, no objection, no objection. These exhibited may be exhibited. These exhibits may be admitted. 330, 332, 333. Agent Golden, this is the trailer you referenced? Yes. And you don't know where the photo was taken, do you? Or from the investigation? Do you know where it was taken from the investigation? I know where it was taken. Where is that? At an ice park in Fairbanks? Okay, this is not where the search occurred. No, it occurred where? At the airport in the indoor garage space. Crocky, 332, please. That's the inside of the garage space that we're just talking about? Yes. Do you have an idea about, in terms of the length of this trailer? Not a trailer person. I'm not a trailer person. It was a size longer than that of a car, I can say that. All right, fair enough. All right. If you can describe the jury that we're seeing here in 333 and from the location this photograph was taken in reference to the trailer's orientation. Sure, that was taken using the previous photo from the back doors of the trailer. That's where they were opened. That's the doors that we opened in order to gain access to the trailer. And this photograph was taken when those doors were first opened, so that as the contents were in the trailer as we first saw them. Okay, so when you opened up the doors, this is what you saw, yes. All right, and we have this orange utility box. Yes, we have a large box here. Yes, did the box appear to be sealed or open? Open. And then, Sean, if you can enlarge this area for me, you can see in the distance, Agent Golden, some other items here. They appear to be wrapped in what? It's the clear cellophane that you, like moving tape cellophane, or the big cell phone wraps that you use to hold large items together. Was, from your observation of the search of the trailer, were there items that were trapped in a cell phone like you just described? Yes, there were. Can you describe to the jury what those items were? Some of the items there I saw wrapped in a cellophane included weapons. They included the larger paint can type things, which are empty paint cans that you see in the far side of the photograph. The other right here? Correct, and with several layers of those paint cans that were wrapped that way, as well as a number of other items that were initially wrapped in a cellophane when they were pulled out of the trailer. All right. You mentioned these paint cans here. Were they empty, or did they have contents in them? They were empty. They were all empty. You're correct. And we have two other boxes here. The lid that one appears to be open, does it not? Yes, thank you. Agent Golden, with respect to in search of the trailer, could you talk to the jury about individuals, the protocol for doing type of search that you were authorized to do by the search warrant? Okay. Because this was search warrant that included seizing explosive type items, our protocol involved using special agents, bomb technicians. We call them SABTs. And they're special agents that do normal FBI duties, carry a caseload, and that kind of thing. But their occasional collateral duty, they're specialized in explosives. And they're bomb technicians, so that we did that day, our protocol for that search was the trailer was opened, and before any of the actual searchers put their hands on a box or started pulling out things, the bomb technicians went through one by one and pulled them items out and handed them off to us. So the bomb technician would grab a box or stand right inside the trailer, depending on where we were within the search. Look through the contents, determine if it was safe for us to search. If there was something that they needed to render safe, their job was to do that prior to handing it off to the searchers, prior to us packaging something. So it was a safety protocol. I'm going to put in here, like they're talking about bringing in a guy to, like, as they search a stupid trailer with empty paint cans for bombs, right? But also, Schaefer mentioned that the state troopers and also the FBI would send guards to the airport to pick up the judge, and they would escort the judge in like an armed, some kind of armed caravan to the courtroom. So it made the judge biased as hell because the judge was thinking that he was in fear for his life from the Alaska militia. So it's like the FBI and the state troopers were doing their best to bias the judge, thinking that they made the senile old judge who couldn't even hear properly, thinking his life was in danger.
Probably filling his ear, too.
Right. Exactly. And all the time that the state troopers, there were several of them that were running drugs. And Schaefer was trying to expose him for drug running. What page are we on? We're on page 39. Let me get to at least 40. Okay, because of this... Okay, yeah. So the bomb technician would grab a box or stand right inside the trailer, depending on where we were, and then look through the contents to determine if it was safe for us to search. If there was something that needed to render safe, the job was to do that prior to handing it off. And for weapons that day, it's our protocol that we don't just find a weapon and package it. We don't want to package weapons that are loaded and could certainly be a danger. So we had a firearms instructor, and that was Special Agent Thorson, who was our primary firearms person that day, who cleared all the weapons that were found. And then once he cleared them, they were handed off to a searcher. And if they were going to be seized, then they were packaged and taken from the location. With respect to other agencies, did you have other agencies with an expertise in that field that were assisting in the search as well? I wonder if they have FBI agents who have an expertise in empty paint cans.
And
yes.
empty boxes. Empty bags.
They have their cellophane expert come in and examine the cellophane and the clear tape. Yes, and that would be the agents from ATF. Okay, Scrocky, can I have 60, please? 60. Do you exhibit 60 on the screen? Agent Godin, exhibit 60 inside the trailer. And are you familiar with the items and the general description, what described here in the photo? We offer exhibit 60. No objection, no objection, no objection. 60 is admitted. Agent Godin, I want to turn your attention to beginning with the left-hand side of the photograph. Do you see the item we wrapped here in plastic? I do. It appears to be a canvas bag. Yes? Was that removed from the trailer that day? It does. I'd like you to have a look at this item here. And Sean, could you enlarge that for us? It appears to be a large round cylinder. Yes, and I'm going to direct your attention to this item up at the top, the white tub. Do you see that? I do. Do you have an occasion to see that during your search? I did, and that was photographed in sight. Yes, Mr. Scrocky. Thank you, Sean. Can you blank the screen? Let me try and go through the next photos and see if I can get these admitted quickly. 61 is an enlargement of what we looked at 60. Yes. Mr. Scrocky? Sean, could you pull up 62 and another interior photograph of some items that were seized and removed? Scrocky, 63. Is that inside the tub that we looked at with respect to the white container? Yes. Is that white container what was removed from the tub? We offer exhibit 60, 61, 62, 63, 64. No objection, no objection, no objection. They're all admitted. Thank you, Sean. Agent Godin, we looked at this from a different perspective a little further back. This photo is a little closer inside the trailer. Is that correct? That's correct. And these are the cans that you're talking about that were empty? Yes. And we've got a brown tub with these white plastic tubs sitting on the inside of that. That is correct. And there appears to be some type of object right there on top of that. Did you see that? I do. Okay, you can't tell what it is, can you? I can't. All right. And then we have some other items right here. Yes. Do you see what those are? Yes. What are they? They are green military-style ammunition cans. Oh, I think I have some of those. They are green military-style ammunition cans, on average, about this size.
Yeah, they sell them at every local gun store. Every garage sale in Texas sells them.
If you go to First Monday, there's like hundreds of them. You can't walk around the corner without kicking them, you know.
A flea market special.
They are green military style ammunition cans, on average about this size. Did you have an occasion during that search that day to open and examine them? Yes. What did they contain? Ammunition of various types. Wow. Okay, we'll get to that. Well, I think you're supposed to put your ammunition in your ammunition can.
It's a safe place to keep them dry.
Yeah. We have a different view, and there apparently are what behind the first cans we looked at 61. These items here. Oh, I'm sorry. A lot of blue scratches. Sorry about that, but we're referencing these items here. Those are the additional ammunition containers. There appears to be a photograph taken up position looking down into the tub. That's correct. And there's two items here I want to focus on actually. Do you see this item here? I do. And did you see that on that day and before coming in to testify today? I did. What item is that? That's a scope. Oh, it got a scope. Okay, and next to the scope, there's some long black items that are wrapped in plastic. Those are rails. Rails, which are consistent with a placement on a semi-automatic weapon, which are similar to other items that were seized from the trailer. You're not a specific gun agent, are you? I am not a gun agent. All right. When you say rails, what's your understanding of what you can do with those rails? They're placed on I've seen them on some of the items that were seized from the trailer. They're placed on the weapon. I don't know specifically what their purpose is, but they're placed on the weapons. Okay, what do you do after you place it on them, if you know? I mean, do you put something on them or what? You don't know? I'm not the right person. You're not the right agent to answer that question? All right. Okay, and when we they made it out like it's some big secret, some big secret about the rails they put on the guns to mount the scope. Like it's some big mysterious thing to the jury. It's like it was rails, and we don't even know what that's for. All right, okay, and we have two other items here. Scrocky, can you enlarge that for me, Sean? Can you see the black circular item there? Can you tell us what it is? It's black powder. I think people make their own ammunition with black powder. A container of black powder? Correct. And can you point us, and can you back us out? There we go. And with this gray item here, can you see what that is? It's a magazine. And how about with respect to this underneath that? I believe it's a bandolier of some type. I think I've got a bandolier too, actually. A bandolier of some type of carrying case there are additional magazines in that case. Okay, they appear to be the same color as the one that I circled here to the left. Yes, Scrocky 64. Agent Godin, is this the white tub that was removed from that brown cylinder? It is. Yes, I do. Do you see the exhibit? Yes, I do. And is that something you observed the day of the search with items that were contained in the white plastic tub we just looked at? Yes. In Exhibit 64? Yes. Scrocky, we offer 339, no objection, no objection, no objection, 339 admitted. Scrocky, Agent Godin, could you tell the jury what is at the bottom of that tub and what those items are? Those are grenade casings with fuses attached. Okay, and at the bottom, and this is apparently taken out of the trailer and the photograph there, it was, all right, can you count how many depicted in the photo? I can see approximately 12, but I know that there's more than 12 in that container. How many more? I believe there's 17 in that container. 17 bodies? I believe so, yes. Does some of them seem to have... Scrocky, Sean, if you can enlarge that for me, I seem to have attached to them a fuse. Thank you. If you could dim the screen, could we have 334 and we'll move to 335? Agent Godin, did you see 334? I do. And you're familiar with the contents of that as well? I am. And then 335, please. That is a photo of the utility box we first saw, yes. And an item in that box was seized by your investigation, yes. We offer 334 and 335. No objection, no objection, no objection. 334 and 335 may be admitted. Scrocky, thank you. Agent Godin, that was the red box that was visible in one of the earlier photographs at the top of the stack of materials, correct? And inside this box you can see here what? What item? A gas mask. And then here, another bandolier with several magazines in it. And then down here on the bottom right hand side, this item here, are you familiar with what that is? The duty belt. No. Scrocky, can you enlarge that for me, Sean? The white publication. I remember seeing it, but I don't recall what it said on the front of it. All right, and then you just mentioned duty belt? Correct. It's a duty belt I've outlined in blue. Do you recall seeing something like that earlier in your testimony? I do. What was that? That was at the residence of Schaefer Cox. In that box, they contain numerous duty belts. Scrocky. Mr. Robertson, can you enlarge that for me? Thank you. Golden. Are you familiar with what body armor is? I am. Are you able to discern in that photograph whether there's any body armor in that photo? Yes, there is. It's at the bottom. If you look at the bottom of the photograph just to the right, yeah, correct, right there, you can see the black and white part of the body armor. And how about up at the top? Yes, all of those items appear to be laying or not appear. They are laying on top of the body armor. Scrocky, 335, please. This was a utility box we spoke about earlier that was at the tail end of the trailer towards the doors. Yes, that was one of the first items that we looked at because it was right in the entrance to the trailer. So it was opened up and this firearm was there. It was. Are you going to see that in a few minutes? Yes, Scrocky, 405 and 404. Denali, you can turn the lights up when you have a second. Let's start 404, yes. If you can open up the lid and hold that, show it to... Okay, I just got to page 51 and... I'm going to take a break here.
Very tired.
Yeah, this is the craziest, boringest crap. It's called the Parade of Terribles. It's a common tactic by the...
Throw it at the wall and see if it sticks.
Yeah, and just tire the jury out with just a Parade of Terribles. All right, we're on page 51. Let's continue. To look at it yourself? Affirmative. Are you familiar with that item? I am. That came from the trailer? It did come from the trailer. And as to 405, it also come from the trailer. Are those two items, 404, 405, associated with one another? They are. Okay, is 404 a firearm? It is. Scrocky, we offer 404, 405. No objection, no objection, no objection. Plaintiff's exhibit 404, 405 admitted. Agent Golden, I want you to take the lid off or pull the lid off backwards. There you go. Could you stand up and show the jury what 404 is, please? And if you could spin it so the counsel can see it as well. I'm sorry. All right. The firearm has got some markings on the side of it for a specific caliber. Do you see that? Yeah. Okay, is it out of the box now? Is it free from the box? Yes, it is. Why don't you close the lid and hold it up? Thank you. What's the mark and caliber of the firearm? It's a P22. Okay, it's a 22 caliber. And what caliber? 22? Yes. Now on the front of that, if you can show the jury and don't point it at them. What is that on the front? This is a silencer. Hold it up a little higher for alternate juror number 2 name. Yeah, there you go. Okay, with respect to the silencer on the... Your Honor, I'm going to object to the characterization that it's a fair objection sustained. Do you have familiarity with the item that's attached to the end of that gun? I do. And in the course, please sit down. In the course of your employment with the FBI, yes. Are you trained to look for those items? Yes. Do you know the respect to the legality of possessing one? I do. I think an adequate foundation has been laid. Your Honor, I maintain my objections because she's already testified that she's not a firearm expert. We don't know if this has been tested. It shouldn't be characterized until we hear more evidence. Well, I think the objection goes to the weight to be attached to this point. The objection's overruled. Scrocky, with respect to the silencer on the end of the pistol, I want you to describe for the jury the outside component to it. In other words, it's indiscernible, whatever. It's a rubbery top casing on the outside, and does there appear to be, from your looking at it, items on the inside? There's a metal area here, and then it's rubber again on the inside. On the inside, like where the, correct, I don't want to point it. So let me try it this way. So the barrel's like this, inside the barrel, what is there? Rubber? Correct. Is there a hole in that barrel? There is. All right. You said that was a 22, yes. And with respect to 405, what do those appear to be? There are 2 magazines for the 22. Are they empty or loaded? There are some bullets in there. They're not loaded fully, but there are some. All right. During the course of the search of the trailer, did you or your agents associated with you during the search have occasion to locate other 22 ammunition? Yes. How much in general sense? There was a large amount of 22 ammunition. I don't know the total number, but there's a significant amount of 22 ammunition. You know, for anybody that's familiar with firearms, 22 is like a little pissant gun. Sure, it can kill you, but it's just a little pissant gun, man. It's like a little plinker. How was it contained? There was some ammunition loose like this next to the gun when it was found, and the magazines, and when there were also there were a number of ammunition containers, the type that you find in the store, that you purchase in a store, and then there were the green military style ammunition cans that we described earlier. Do you have a 337? Do you have 337, Agent Golden? 337, yes, no. What's the number you have there? I have 408 and 409. Can we dim the lights quickly, Denali? Thank you, briefly, please. Agent Golden on the screen, Exhibit 337, yes. Are you familiar with the items depicted in the photo? I am. And they are present in that condition on the day of the search? Yes, they were. And that also is going to depict 408. Is that fair to say? Yes, Grocky. We offer 337. No objection, no objection. 337 to be admitted. Agent Golden, we're going to be talking about a specific item in 337, and this the item here that I'm circling, yes. That was, what did your agents do with that with respect to that item there on the day of the search? You seized it. We did seize it. And these items here that I'm circling as well, yes, Grocky. Thank you, Sean. If we can have the lights, thank you. Can I have a look at the box we've marked as 408, yes. Did you look at the item before coming into court? I have. Do you know what it depicts? I do. It references the item that we displayed in 337, yes, and as to 409 and 412, yes. You're familiar with the contents of what in both of those exhibits? I am, and they refer to Exhibit 408 and items in 337, correct. We offer 408, 409, 412. No objection, no objection, no objection. All right, I want to check this. This was 408. Yes, sir. And 409. Yes, 412. Yes. They may be admitted. 337 admitted. Yeah, it was. Yeah, okay. Scrocky. Just so we can complete the set, I'm going to have Agent Sutherland give you one more. That's Exhibit 413, yes. And that's a manual that is concerning the remaining exhibits and the other exhibits we just presented to you. Yes, it is. Seized in connection with 408, etc., correct. We also offer 413, no objection, no objection. 413 may be admitted. Agent Golden, let's start with 408. Go ahead and pull it out. Can you stand up and show the jury what you're holding there? There's going to be a marking on that firearm, correct? Correct. Can you just sit down now? Thank you. Just a minute. Stand up. You see the white tie there, folks? All the weapons that were being displayed, you have a lock on them, so they can't be operated. That's just a tie that goes through the guns, so they can't operate. They're all fixed that way. It's like, what, we got a room full of people that are terrified to death of a firearm? We carry firearms around here in Texas, like, oh my goodness. Can you read on the weapon you're holding there what it says in terms of make and serial number? Sure, it says Sten. Actually, Sten is on here twice. Sten MK2. And then it provides a serial number, FB2539. Okay, could you repeat the serial number for some of the members who are riding? Sure, FB Fox Bravo 259. Okay, it's a Sten? Correct. Mark II, yes. If you could just leave that out and open a 409 when you get it. Okay, then you have there in your left hand, do you see it? I do. Does that appear to be able to be inserted in some place on that gun, on the Sten? Yes, it's a magazine. It goes right there. All right, and how about the other two items you pulled out that are laying on the table there? They're both metal? Yeah. Can you just hold that up for the jury? Any idea what they're used for? Attached to the gun here, and there are two different types, and you've got the one magazine, correct? All right, we're going to have to be moving through a lot of material, so if you could just repackage that for us. Okay, the court. It's about time for a break. While they're cleaning that up, let's take a 15-minute break, folks. You may be excused. All rise. This matter sounds in recess for 15 minutes. Would you stay for a minute? Juror number 5, would you stay for a minute? I want to ask you about your note. You can just stay there. We all want to know a couple of things. Can you stand in front of that microphone? Thank you. You indicated that some people you knew were arrested in FBI and wondered how close to those people you were. Were they family, friends, or acquaintances, or what? Can you hear me? They were friends. I used to house sit for them. And is there anything about the circumstance that might cause you to favor or disfavor the FBI in this case? No. Okay. Any questions, counsel? I do. Yes. Hi. Who were they? Paul and Nadia Rockwood. Were you living in King Salmon? Yes, they were. Okay, so you remember the case? Actually, I don't follow the case. I remember the whole circumstance when they were, when they were gone and But yeah, I didn't follow the actual case. So you were house sitting at their blue house in King Salem? It might have been blue. It's FAA housing. Yeah. Okay, and you recall that disposition and you recall what the disposition was of that case? What happened? Yeah. Okay, and have you had any contact with either Paul or Nadia since? Yes, actually, we received a letter for him since he's been gone, and we've written to him twice. Okay, and email from his wife, and you know where he's at? Yes, he's in prison, but I don't know if it's in Alabama. I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure either. Okay, and how often did you house sit for them? Maybe about 3 times total. My brother and sister watch their house more often, maybe about 5 times total, for about a couple of days to a week or so. Okay, so you still keep in contact with him a little bit? Yeah, I haven't. The last letter we received was December, but yeah, we keep in some contact, yeah. Have they expressed to you any displeasure with what occurred to them that would impact what we're doing here today? They have said that they have displeasure, but it wouldn't affect me. No, I don't believe so. Okay, all right. I have one other question for you. Okay, did you realize in their case they pled guilty? They both did? Yes, I do. Okay, so there wasn't a trial like this one. No, not that I know of. All right. And with respect to Nadia Rockwood, do you know where she's at? I believe she's back in England. Yeah. Okay, keep your voices up. I asked her if she knew where Nadia Rockwood was, and your answer was, affirmative. She's living in England. I think she's living with her aunt. Okay, and her son and daughter. Yeah. Okay, so you're totally comfortable with that whole thing, and yeah, you'll be okay. Yeah. All right. Thank you. You're welcome. Any other questions? No, Your Honor. No, Your Honor. Mr. Traverso, go ahead. Mr. Traverso, the fact that the U.S. Attorney has questioned you to see if you will remain impartial. Affirmative. Mr. Traverso, and discuss whether or not you would be fair to the FBI in this case. Would you still be able to judge the credibility of the FBI if that became an issue? Yes, I believe so. Thank you. You're welcome. Okay, thank you. You may be excused for your break. Thanks. Okay, any questions? The concern I have, Your Honor, is that Rockwood case was pretty high-profile case. I was the prosecutor in that case. I don't know if she knows that or not. I don't want to volunteer that. I know the Rockwoods have been very vocal to virtually anybody who would listen about the displeasure they had at the hands of the FBI and out of the office with respect to that case. I know Nadia Rockwood has petitioned several times to come back to the United States. My office under my signature have opposed that on numerous occasions. It was part of the plea agreement, and the nature of the case involved international terrorism. Mr. Rockwood was charged with being a follower of Anwar al-Awlaki, and he had a target list of 7 people, more than that, 13 people on the East Coast. He was intercepted on the way back from King Salman on the way home to the East Coast to act on that list. It involved undercover informants similar to this case. It involved undercover recordings. And I know Mr. Rockwood has expressed significant displeasure from where he's currently housed with respect to this, and he calls himself a martyr and a victim, and I have concerns that King Salman's a small town. It's a lot smaller town than this town. That's the association, very close, and I just don't know the nature of the correspondence. They have gone back and forth, but I know that I am no friend of Nadia Rockwood, and I can tell you that much, and her husband, so I have some degree of concern with respect to that, and if we need to inquire more, maybe we should, but that's our record on that, so I think we need to strike her. Mr. Traverso, Your Honor, I think she was straight. The fact that she even volunteered that information shows that it's a good sign. I think she's fine. I don't think we need to strike her. Mr. Dooley, and I think the government had an opportunity to question her about Mr. Scrocky has just testified to in quotes, and we didn't hear anything from her that said that she would be unfair or biased, that she could set aside these things. Thank you. Miss Hayden, Your Honor, I believe the witness has affirmatively told the court that she can be fair, that although she knew the Rockwoods, as the government said, King Salman is a very small place. I am sure almost everybody who lives there knows each other, but she has told the court that she can put aside that and she can be fair. The challenge to the juror is denied. I'm satisfied with her statements that she will be fair, and I would not expect the juror. Do you think a Muslim juror, when a Christian comes on trial, and the Muslim is given opportunity to send the Christian up the river, do you think that the Muslim can be fair? I'm satisfied with her statements that she will be fair, and I would not expect the juror, from what I heard, to be opposed to the FBI or in favor of them in this case, from her own statements. So I guess what I'm trying to say is that any bias she might harbor or hide purely speculative in my view. Let's take a break. All rise. The matter stands in recess. Indiscernible 5 after. All right, His Honor, this United States Court is again in session. Please be... I wouldn't stand for a freaking judge, man. No freaking way now that I know what I know. Okay, you can bring in the jury. All right, please be seated. You can continue. Agent Golden, I believe we left off around 409, and have you opened that up yet? I did open 409 up. Okay, those are the stocks, yeah, and the one on the magazine, all right, thank you. Let's move to 412. It should be off to your left, yes. Could you open that up and remove the contents of it? Okay, and that was found in the trailer as well, it was. Okay, could you open that up? It's a green can and green canvas-like bag. Yes, it is. Could you flip open the top of it and just sort of point out to the jury, and you can pull out up how many of those, describing what's in the bag. First of all, let's try it that way. These are magazines. How many are in there? 10 of them. 10, correct. Could you pull out 2 of them to show the jury, and they appear to fit into the sten? You're on your counter? Yeah. There are some rounds in plastic bag, yeah. And from the investigation, they came from where? From the magazines. They were found on those rounds in them, correct. Can you put those back in there, please? In this exhibit 413, it is. Mr. Scrocky, and I apologize, Your Honor, I can't recall if we admitted 413 or not. Yes, it is in evidence. All right. Scrocky, if you could look at that, take out the envelope. Okay, could you show the jury what that is and tell them what it is? This is a manual. It's labeled carbine machine stem 9mm, marks 1, 2, 3, illustrated identified list, and it's dated August 1942. 1942, correct? It's before your time. Yeah, before my time. Okay, and does that have an indication as to whether the item has been sent someplace else in connection with the investigation? Yeah, this has been sent to the lab. Okay, do you want to seal that bag up for us? Uh-huh. Agent Golden, Exhibit 413 said 9mm on it, I believe. Then, that you just read, I believe so. Can you go back and look at it real quick? Yeah, okay, 9mm. Yeah, was any 9mm ammunition found in the trailer? Yeah, it was. Okay. Mr. Scrocky, Madam Clark, if we could have the lights and Exhibit 375 for display to counsel. Agent Golden, do you see the item we have displayed there in 375, and there's some writing consistent with 9mm on the top of that box? Correct. Mr. Scrocky, if you could go to 376, please. Is that a photo of the box opened? Yes, it is. Scrocky, we offer 375 and 376. Objection, no objection, no. 375 and 376 may be admitted. So that box came from the trailer, it did, and there's some writing on there. Do you see that? It says 9mm Luger automatic pistol, 115 grain full metal jacket, and 376. That's consistent of that ammo can. It is. Is that 9mm ammunition? It is. Thank you. Agent Sutherland, if you could clear the exhibits for Agent Golden, we're going to display 2 photos for you. Agent Golden, Exhibits 368, 369. Those items came from the trailer, yes. On 368 and 369, correct. I don't see 369 yet, yes. It's a close-up view of 368, yes, and those items were seized by the FBI pursuant to the warrant. Yes, they were. Scrocky, we offer 368 and 369. I object and probably need to approach the bench on it. I don't do sidebars. Okay, counsel, may I inquire of the agent then? Yes. Void, agent, the court doesn't do sidebars. Tim Dooley, represent Coleman Barney. The JB Weld that's perched on the corner of the box, yes, was found elsewhere than in the box, correct? I don't know if it was in the box. It was found in close proximity to the box, I believe, but I don't recall if it was inside the box as you see it there. All right, the JB Weld was put on the box by someone on your team, correct, to photograph this? All right. With that understanding, I'll waive my objection. All right. Any objections? No, sir. 368, 369 may be admitted. Agent Golden, a number of items are displayed in 368. Let's focus on the inside of the box first, and you can see what type of items here. Those are CS canisters. Then you can see some other items in the box to the right, my right of the CS canisters. Yes, they appear to be 2 grenade bodies. There appeared to have, at least this one appears to have that what screwed into the top. It has a fuse. And Mr. Dooley just asked you, this JB Weld here was placed for photograph purposes, correct? And your understanding as to where that was located in connection with this box here, it was located in the proximity to the box. I don't recall if it was packaged in the box. All right. Scrocky 369, please, a close-up of the contents of the box, and we have here, what's the item? It's a fuse, similar to the one we found here to the right, correct? And there appears to be, what here in the background? It's a second fuse. Scrocky, if we could remove the jury display 370, and those 2 items you just spoke about laid out on the floor, table, or photograph purposes, we offer 370. No objection, no objection, no objection. It may be admitted. Oh, Scrocky, okay. Agent Golden, those are just close-ups of the 2 fuses that you just spoke about in the box and the 2 grenade bodies with fuses attached. That's correct. I want you to pay attention to, do you see the ridge line on both of those grenade bodies? I do. There and there. And the grinding of the metal right there, yes. Could you display for the attorneys, defense counsel 343? This is in reference to your testimony earlier on Exhibit 349, if you recall that, the white bucket. Yeah. And is this a display of the grenades that were in that white bucket? Yeah, it is. We offer 343, no objection from anybody. However, I object to them being called grenades. They are grenade shells, grenade bodies, totally legal. Well, the Exhibit 343 may be admitted. Okay, that's probably a fair objection, counsel. That depicts how many grenade bodies? 17. They should have said grenade shells or inert grenade, the grenade bodies. It's freaking insane, man. It's like they hold up a gun, they hold up an ammunition, they hold up a green ammunition can, they hold up a JB Weld, they hold up a grenade shell. It's like, so what? Everybody in Texas has those things in their backyard. Oh. They all appear to have what on top of them? A fuse. And this one here appears a little different. It does. If you could raise the lights, Madam Clerk. We forgot the gloves, didn't we? But that's okay. All right, and if you look at that's grenade tub, and if you spin it, you could spin it. There's an exhibit sticker on it, yeah. And do you recognize that tub? I do. And the contents thereof, I do. We could offer 411. Scrocky, we have gloves, awesome. Traversal, no objection. Dooley, no objection. 411 may be admitted. Scrocky, can you remove a couple of those grenade bodies from the tub? Can you hold up, there's 2 types, right? There was one that is it rigid type, correct? You're holding it in your right, and there's one on your right hand, there's a round type, yeah. And if you could flip them to the jury to show the holes in the bottom to your understanding, how many are in the container? When we seized it, there were 17 in this container, okay, and some of them are not there now, correct? I believe there's 15 in the container at this time, I believe. 2 went someplace else, correct? To your knowledge, where did they go? To the library. Okay, with respect to those 2 fuses that we had in the photograph, it would have been 370. 2 of those fuses, where did they go? To your understanding, the lab as well. And so there are holes in the bottom of those grenade bodies, yeah. Okay, they all have fuses on them, yeah, and they all appear to have pins in the fuse, yeah. And if you could tip over the just tilted way of putting it, okay, thank you. Scrocky 400 and 401, please, Agent Sullivan, you've examined the tags for it, and they reflect 2 grenades you mentioned were sent to the lab. And they reflect those 2 grenades you mentioned that were sent to the lab. They just told him not to call them grenades. They said to call them grenade shells or grenade bodies, and he just referred to them as grenades. What a freaking jerk. Okay, they don't even object. We offer exhibits 400 and 401. If you'd take both of those out for us and just display those to the jury out of the packaging, you said you could hold it up, but do you recognize them as being reflective of the photograph we had in 369? Yeah. And that's because of what? Because of the ridge on the grenade body. Okay, so one went to the FBI lab, correct? And right. And as to the other, it could just be put back in and then pull out. The other one, the same question. Do you recognize that one? I do. In comparison to 369, yeah, I'm sorry, I lost my number. Excuse me, 370, exhibit 370. The photograph, yeah. It has the same ridge as the one depicted in the photo. It does. Can you imagine a Muslim who came from freaking, different culture, like watching all these Christians and they have like grenade bodies, fuses, JB Weld, they have firearms and ammunition and green ammo cans, which is completely normal for anybody in the militia, completely normal for any redneck in Texas. And this Muslim sitting there like, oh my goodness, all this ammunition and explosives. And in their mind, like Schaefer's out to be the big terrorist, big Christian terrorist. That's not what's going on, right? He's not being judged by someone of his peers. Oh my goodness. And that there's this indication. Oh my goodness. Hold on. I got it. We're on page 82. I got to pause. All right, we're on page 82. Let's see how far we can go. It does. Okay, and there's indication that went to the FBI lab. Yes, there is. All right, thank you. 2 items that we've marked, 402 and 403. Yes, and are they reflective of the fuses that we observed in photograph 370? Plaintiff's exhibits 402 and 403. Yes, they are. And they indicate that those fuses went where? The fuses also went to the laboratory, all right. We offer 402 and 403. If you could pull both of those out for us, if that fuse intact, this one is not. Okay, and what does it appear to be, in what condition? It's been taken apart. It's in multiple pieces, 4 different pieces. All right, and which exhibit is that, Agent Golden? That is 403. Okay, and if you can just put back in and look at the 402, is that fuse intact? It is. Can you show that to the jurors, what it looks like? Okay. Yes. Were they seized from the trailer as well? Yes, they were. And did you have occasion to see those and have them seized? Yes. Move for admission of 397, 398. No objection from anybody. They may be admitted. They're not on my wit or exhibit counsel. Scrocky, yes, sir. We just pulled them out from our office this morning, okay? Agent Golden, if you can tell the jury what those are, please. This is unique smokeless powder in this container. Which number is that? This is 398, 397 Hodge. I'm not going to say it right. Hodgkin rifle powder. Did Agent Sutherland provide you one more exhibit? He did, number 417. That reference to JB Weld. We offer 417, no objection, no objection, no objection. 417 may be admitted. Did those items in front of you, Agent Golden, go to the lab for testing? They did. Thank you. If you could clear those, could we have the lights, please, Denali? If we can go to, for counsel 338 and 340, Agent Golden, a photograph of a device and some other cartridges that were seized from the trailer. Yes. Scrocky and 340, please, Sean. Is this a display of the photo of some of the items seized from the trailer? Yes, it is. We offer 338 and 340. No objection from anybody. 338 and 340 admitted. Agent Golden, do you have an understanding about what's depicted in Exhibit 338? I do. What's depicted there? That's a 37 millimeter launcher that the cartridges fit into. Those cartridges in the bag belong with a launcher, yes. Scrocky and 340, please. We have 2 different types of cartridges displayed there, yes. We have the top line is OC, correct? And down below here, can you read what those are? Those are 2 Hornet's Nest. When with respect to this launcher, that's the launcher that was reflected in the bag in 338. It is. And earlier in your testimony, you mentioned a rail, yes? Did you see something like that on the launcher here? I do. That's what you can see sticking out to the left end of the picture right here, or the left end of the launcher, yes, right here. Okay, Denali, if we could have the lights back. Do you have two exhibits in front of you, Agent Golden? Yes. One of them is a 406, correct, and 407, correct. Okay, is that, if you could examine the boxes briefly for us, yes, and they were seized from the trailer on search as well. Yes, they were. And they reflect the launchers that we saw in the photos. Yes. Offer 406, 407, no objection from anybody. 406, 407 admitted. And those launchers have zip ties through them as well. Agent Golden, both of them? Yes, they do. Could you hold up 406 for the jury, please? Okay. The little piece you're holding in your hand, And what's that called? This is the rail that in the picture you saw sticking out of the end there. All right. And 407, it seems larger than the other one, does it not? It is. Okay, thank you. If we could display 585, 586 for defense counsel, do you have an understanding as to the number of items with respect to these munitions that were seized from the trailer that day? Yes, I do. Is that reflective in this photograph? It is, and that was done for display for evidentiary purposes, correct? Okay, we can't bring those into the courtroom, can we? I don't think so. Scrocky and Exhibit 586, just a version of them going vertical. Correct. Offer 585, 586. No objection, no objection, no objection. They may be admitted. Could we have the lights, please? Denali, thank you. Scrocky, Agent Golden, in the photos, these cartridges appeared shiny. No longer shiny in this photo, correct? Why is that? Do you have an understanding about why that is? That's fingerprint powder, so they have the black, they're black in color. So the first two rows here in 585, right, that depicts that what kind of cartridge? An OC cartridge. Do you know what an OC is in your experience with the FBI pepper spray? And how many OC are there? There are 28 OC canisters or cartridges. 28, yeah, correct, yes. I'm going to have you look at the ones in the blue at the bottom. They have the letter of what on them? CS. Do you know what CS is? It's a smoke irritant. I don't know what it stands for, but that's what it is. That's your understanding, my understanding of what it is. How many of those CS canisters or munitions are there? There are 8 of those, yeah. And on the left side there are four what? Hornet's nest. I'm not going to ask you about those. I'm not going to ask you about what those are. Thank you. There appear to be on those hornet nests 4 tags. Do you see those 4? Those pink, the orange. Yeah. Okay. And then 586 briefly. And those cartridges are standing up vertically, correct? No exhibits up there for you right now. No. Okay. You need one for 16, Sean. If you could please pull 335 for us, which I believe has been admitted. Do you need help with that, Agent Golden? Can he help you with that, or do you have it? I think I have this one. Oh, you got it. Okay. Can you compare what's in the box with the photo on 335? Yes, similar. Move for admission of 416. No objection, no objection. It may be admitted. Could you open that up, Scrocky? And if we could have the lights, Denali, take that out of the box. Yeah, my eyes aren't as good as they used to be, even with glasses. So, Agent Golden, that's Exhibit 416. Yes, it is. Is there a caliber stamped on the side of that firearm? 223, and at the top where your left hand is, where you're gripping the forestock there, right? Okay. Does there appear to be places on the top and bottom that forestock for items to be places and there are holes? There are holes there. Okay. And the bottom as well, yes. And that's the rifle that came out of the orange utility box. The orange rigid box, yes. Okay. Scrocky, if you can get that from her, 351. We've put on the screen Exhibit 351, yes. Items from the trailer, correct. Can you tell if that's just the same caliber of ammunition that was Exhibit 416 we just saw? It is. Scrocky, we offer 351. No objection, no objection, no objection. 351 may be admitted. Scrocky, lights, please, Denali, when you get a sec. Thank you. There is some ammunition depicted in the picture. There is. On the upper right, I believe you can see the caliber, yes, 223. And there's writing on the center box, correct. It says Cox. How many boxes can you see in that photo? There are 6 boxes I can see. And given the number of rounds, can you do the math for us? 1,200. 1,200 rounds of 223, yes. 419. If I may, I think there's 5 boxes. Well, he can cross-examine if he wishes, or we can follow up with some more questions for her. Yeah. Scrocky, Agent Golden, let me have Mr. Robertson enlarge. What do you see with respect to that? There's a box underneath. There's a 3rd box underneath there. Right there. Correct. Back out. You're still sticking to 1,200 rounds? 1,200. Could you have the lights, Denali? We've placed before you Exhibit 419, yes. And if you could just examine the contents, does the contents of the box correspond to the caliber ammunition you just looked at? Yes, it does. Scrocky, we offer Exhibit 419. No objection from anybody. It may be admitted. Scrocky, please pull that out of the box? There's some writing on the box, Agent Golden. Yes, the last place you look, the last place I look. Okay, does the writing say 200 cartridges, 5.56 millimeter, link M27, ball M85, 4 MGM 249, and then it has the serial number? Okay, and what's contained in that box? Ammunition. Okay, and how is it contained? There are links, individual links that each round fits into. Could you turn it into so they can see that? Thank you. That's full. It appears to be. It appears to be full. If we could have the Lights Council, we're going to go through 3 photos to be admitted or sought to be admitted. 377, 421, Scrocky, sorry, 378. Agent Golden, with respect to 377, do you recall seeing that on your search? Yes, I do. And the counters of that photo? Yes. And with respect to 378, do you recall seeing that as well? I do. We offer 377, 378. No objection, no objection, no objection. They may be admitted. Mr. Scrocky, let's go to 377. That came out of the trailer? Yeah, it did. Do you recall in what condition it was when it first observed? This was when there was a photograph earlier looking inside the trailer. There was duffel bags to the left, and we're wrapped in that clear wrap. This is that same item just opened up, all right. And so on this bag are displayed the items that were in that bag, correct? I'm going to draw your attention briefly to this item here on the right side. Do you see that? I do. Do you have what's it look like to you? I know you're not a gun agent, but I know that to be a crank for this particular gun, all right. And this here, like a tripod or a stand. Okay, as to this gun, the investigation's understanding with respect to its shooting ability is what? Semi-automatic. Semi-automatic, correct? All right. Can we have the lights, please? Agent Golden, there's some identifiers on that bag. Baggage claim stamps. Yes, do you recall seeing those? I do. And the names of those on those tags? Schaefer Cox. Scrocky, you want to give her a hand with that, or can she do it herself? Do you mean to lift it? Is that what you mean to do? Okay, can you read the stamp on the side of the gun? 7.62. And is there a caliber for it too? This is a 30 caliber. It's not on here, but I know it to be a 30 caliber. Okay, all right. Let's put that down back in the bag. Let's hold it there for a second. I have to apologize, Judge, in my haste to move things along. I jumped and we didn't get that admitted. We would offer it for admission. I apologize. No objection. What exhibit number is it? 421. Plaintiff Exhibit 421 identified. 4241. In objection. No objection. No. 421 admitted. If we could dim the lights briefly, Madam Clerk. If you could pull up 378 for us and blow it up for us, if you could, Sean. I don't think this has been previously admitted either. Admitted as 378, I'm sorry. I don't think that's been admitted either. Scrocky, I'm sorry. No, I don't think that has been admitted either. Yes, it has. Has it? Yeah, we did 2 photos in a row. Thank you. Oh, no, I have it in. Thank you. 378 is in. Scrocky, Agent Golden, do you have an understanding as to what caliber is depicted on the box of ammunition? 30 caliber. Does that correspond to the 30 caliber weapon you just had? Yes, it does. And how many rounds are in that box? Approximately 1,000. 1,000 rounds, yes. Scrocky, could we have 418? If we could have the lights, Denali, Agent Sutherland put before you 418, yes. And if you could examine the contents without talking about it briefly, you've seen that before coming in here to testify. I have. Okay. I'm going to stop here on page 101. We'll pick it up at 101 later. Still got it's 277 total, so we got 177 pages to go. All right, let's start with 101, try to get up to 110. I have. Okay, is that consistent with Exhibit 419 in the terms of the pieces that are in the box? Yes, Scrocky. We would offer 419, no objection. Wait a minute, 419. I'm sorry, 419 is an evidence. No objection. It's been admitted. Scrocky, go ahead. If you could pop the lid, I'll try not to spill these. Okay, can you describe what you're holding in your hand? These are the links that we talked about previously that held the ammunition that linked together. And is that box full of those links? It is. Do you happen to know what caliber that would be? You might be asking too much. If you don't, just say you don't. I don't. I know what caliber they were used for in the photograph or in the previous photograph, other exhibit, but I can't. Seized from the trailer as well, Scrocky. 415, no objection, no objection, no objection. If you can take that out of the box, okay, do you know what kind of firearm that is? That is a SKS, a semi-automatic, oh, correct. Do you know what caliber? It's a 7.62. 7.62 is what? Yeah. It says on the firearm? Okay, thank you. All right. Scrocky, if we could have the lights, Denali, and the council. We're going to try another five photos. 346, please. What number did you say? 346, 347, 348, 350. It's 394 in there as well. All right. Agent Golden, were you able to follow along? I was. That's ammunition that is connected to the SKS firearm, just as you showed us. Yes, and some clips, some empty clips. What appear to be empty clips as well, correct? Scrocky, we offer, Your Honor, it would be 346, 347, 348, 350, 394. No objection, no objection, no objection. All right, these exhibits may be admitted. Scrocky, yes, sir, all right. Those are in evidence, Scrocky. So let's go through those quickly. Yes, all right. Let's start with 346, one of the ammo cans we saw earlier. It is. And can you see what kind of ammunition is in the ammo can? I can. It's a 7.62, 347. Another ammo can marked 7.62. Does that appear to be sealed? It's sealed in the photograph, yes. All right, Mr. Scrocky. 348 appears to be what? Those are 2 magazines, and there's some writing on those magazines there. It says Cox, Scrocky 350, and some of those boxes we've seen opened already, correct. That's a display of ammunition boxes. Yes, it is. Okay. And 394, please, type of ammunition, 7.62. Thank you. If we could turn off the jury's display, counsel, we're moving to Exhibit 382. Agent Golden, that reflects some of the items pulled out of the trailer pursuant to your security. Yes, it does. Laid out on the floor, correct. All right. And we would offer 382, no objection, no objection, no objection, 382 admitted. So, Agent Golden, with respect to this photo, I want you to, well, let's start from the bottom and work your way up. So on the bottom here, the green bag is what you have testified previously it is. It had what? I believe it was 10 magazines for the Sten, yes. And then if you could hold up this basket here, what does that appear to hold? It holds more magazines. And there you can see anything in those magazines. I can see ammunition and believe 4 of the magazines. Okay, we have 4 more magazines here, correct? And this item here, we'll see in a minute. What is that? That's an ammunition feeder. And when you pulled it out of the trailer, was it loaded or unloaded? It was loaded. This item here on the floor, it appears to be what? It's a clip. A clip is consistent with 2 metallic links that you had up there on the stand. It is. And here we have what item there? There appear to be what to you? They appear to be an additional magazines, and we have some other magazines over there, correct? And these are the ammunition magazines or magazines, or some of them. We're talking about, yeah, some of the ammunition boxes. Thank you, Scrocky. If we could display for Counsel 386. Agent Golden, do you recognize those items there? I do. And on the front, it had some identification that was associated with those items that you seized, correct? Offer 386, no objection, no objection, no objection. Any objection to those? No objection, Your Honor. All right, 386 may be admitted. I'm sorry. I miss, where did these come from? These are in the trailer, Scrocky. When the agent searched the trailer, did you find the paperwork and other items associated with who? Schaefer Cox. These are some of them, yes, and this appears to be what? And Alaska's driver license for Schaefer Cox. And have you had a chance, this is one perspective scan, you had a chance to observe what was on the back of these items as well? I did, and they are associated with who? Schaefer Cox. Scrocky, can we have 426? Could we have the lights, Madam Clerk? If you can examine the contents, those were seized from the trailer as well. Yes, they were. And it's one of those Mr. Cox's driver's license that we observed it is. On 386, yes. Move on for the admission of 426. No objection, no objection, no objection. It may be admitted. Scrocky, if you had examined Mr. Cox's driver's license, pull it out of the bag, yes. Okay, run your fingers over it. Is there something there? Yes. That's embossed on the driver's license. Yes, there's embossing on it. Can you read what it says? It says, without prejudice, non-assumpsit, sovereign, all rights retained without recourse. Do you have any idea what that means? No. So you know or you don't know. Okay, so go through it one or more times for us. Without prejudice, no, non-assumptive, sovereign, all rights without recourse. Okay, so, and that's embossed on the card. It is like a credit card would be, correct? Does that appear to be an official state of Alaska driver's license to you? It does. Thank you. Is in the bag too, is there an identification photo, not a photo, but a phone number of a specific individual? There are several. A few phone numbers, yes. The one I pointed out to you, Agent Golden, the name and number, the name is Stephen Gibson, and there's an address and then a telephone number, 317-696-6018. Okay, and that's for Stephen Gibson, correct? The court, folks, I'm going to give you a short walk-around break to break up the morning a little bit more when you're going to take just 5 minutes, so you may be excused. All right, this matter stands in recess for 5 minutes. Clerk, all rise. His Honor, the High Court, this United States Court, again, is in session. You may be seated. It's all, if you'll bring back the jury, please. It's one of the best things about being a judge. You get to call breaks. The court, be seated, please, folks. Miss Hayden. Your Honor, before the government proceeds with this witness and this exhibit, I'd like to see the exhibit. I'd like to examine the exhibit. Okay, all right, let's get going. I don't know what... I'll work it out real quick if I could. Okay, so counsel for 426, we'll be looking at 004, 006, 007. Are those? Okay, exhibit numbers there. Page is 416 is admitted, as I understand it. 416, I'm dyslexic, it's 426. Yeah, and those are subparts. Yeah, they are. Okay, all right. Can we get to 426, page 0004? Agent Golden, now, okay, if we could have the lights denali, I know it's a lot. We're putting a lot of demands on you. Thank you. There's an Office Max notebook in exhibit 426, yes, and the first page here, as we've referenced, corresponds to that exhibit, correct? And so on the first page it says right here, Kazar. Do you see that? Yeah. Can you read that? Czar-like rules of force. Okay, czar-like. Yes, rules of force. The next line says what? Federal Reserve, and just keep going. Income tax and social engineering. Can you read the next line? The suppression of juries and grand juries, a new religion. Yeah, just keep going. Okay, granting and permission, smothering competition, men voluntary socialism, the lie of democracy, the law is force, false and circular recourse, law is force. That's what it says toward the bottom, yeah. If I could have you turn to 006, Mr. Traverso. Your Honor, I have an objection. If you're going to read an exhibit, you read the whole thing, that's on it. You don't just pick and choose. That's fair. Can you get closer to the microphone, please? That's a fair objection, counsel. Traverso, we've been doing this, and I've let this go, but I think right now I'd like him to have all the contents, not just pick and choose what he wants. Well, the second part of your objection is overruled. But the whole thing, you can show other parts on cross. I'm sorry, but the whole thing. But you should read. But if you're going to read an exhibit, it's better to read the whole thing, Mr. Scrocky. Well, could you clarify the whole thing? This is a number of pages, so why don't we pick these pages out? No, I think that's all right, but when you get to a page, oh, I see, just read all of it. All right, I understand. Correct. Okay, the contents of a particular page. Is that right, Mr. Traversal? That's right. Got it. Mr. Scrocky. All right, Agent Golden, if you can, so just go to complete it. Read the parts you didn't read. Well, there's a name and a phone number on the top left corner, Janice, and a phone number, and then it says how we got here, exploring forgotten principles, Lincoln and Law, and then it has another name, Dave Bartels, appears to be another phone number, 1898 Plateau, and then we go on to Czar-like rules of force, which I read. All right, Scrocky, if you can turn to 006, if you could please read that page. The day of reckoning, loss and confidence in government and retaliation. The day of reckoning, loss of confidence in government and realization of broken promises, no more party blaming, realization of no redress, realization of war, realization of complete with its voluntary total servitude or the rebirth of men. If you could turn to page 007, there's a list of what to do. Yes, if you could read the list of what to do. What to do, I know you are. Be that person. Identify the enemy, declare war, don't go broke, make it cost him, keep your children, and this is half page. Okay, so underneath after 6, the page stops, correct, and then it's just next page. So the scan, just for clarification for everybody, so scan picks up 12, 13 on the next page, correct? All right. So that page sort of stops right there. Is that accurate? That's accurate. And if you can flip the page and go to the next page, number 7, do your duty as a voter, do your duty as a juror, make peace with the cost and hold on to our hope. Identify your allies and support them. Appeal to God and never worship Caesar. Live as free men. Don't be bluffed into compliance. Be prepared to use force to defend liberty and law and live with courage, die in peace. Die with peace. Okay, 13 says, what again? Be prepared to use force to defend liberty and law. Thank you, Scrocky. If you could turn off the screen, 2 additional exhibits, photographic exhibits, 388 and Agent Golden. Do you realize that? Oh, I'm sorry, you're not done yet, so go ahead. I'm fine and finish up. Do you realize that receipt? I do. And that came from your research, from the search of the trailer? Yes, all right. And there's a name at the bottom. It references one of the defendants. It does, okay. Scrocky, if we could go to 352, I'm sorry, the number again, 352. There's a number of containers that came out of the search of the trailer. Yes, the FBI sees. We did. Scrocky offer 388, 352. No objection, no objection, no objection. 388, 352. Agent Golden, that's a receipt. Are you familiar with the Far East, with the Far North Tactical in general sense? Yes. In what way? Well, I know what kind of store it is. Okay, and where is it located? Far North Tactical is located in Fairbanks. What kind of store is it? It's a tactical store. They have a number. They have weapons. They sell police items. All right, and that's a receipt. Is there a date on that receipt? There is. It's April 27, 2010. It's right there in the middle, yeah. And the amount, $583. Scrocky, can we move to 352, the name on the bottom of the receipt? Schaefer Cox. Thank you. Okay, do you see those items, Agent Golden? I do. Do you see them the day they were removed from the trailer? I did. In the photo, they have an appearance to them. Could you show the jury the size of what those containers are, respectively, snapped together like that? I recall them being about this tall. Okay, how about you individually? About like what? Do you know what the tannerite is? I know it was something like what was seized within the warrant, but I don't know. I'm not a bomb technician. I can't. Okay, tell you what it's for. Tell you what it's for, Scrocky. And if you could publish for Defense 389, do you recognize that an item, Agent Golden? I do. And what was seized by your agency? It was. Without going into contents, why did you seize it? We seized it because of the items that context of the items that it was with also. It fit within the context of the warrant. Would it also fit within the context of your understanding of the investigation? Correct. And the action of the defendants? Correct. We offer 389 objection, Your Honor, and I object relevance. The exhibit may be admitted, number 389. Can you enlarge that for me, Sean, when you get a second? Are you familiar with what item and what's in that container there? I am. What is it? It's a lock-picking set. How do you know that? Well, I've used them before in the course, in your of my work, in the course of my work. In your work with the Bureau? Yes. Okay, it's a lockpicking set. It is. And do you know how it works? I do. And what do you do with it? I use different, each end has a different shape to it, and you put it in the lock to try to pick the lock. Okay, we're going to see the real thing here in a minute. Yes, it's crocky. If we could publish 395 for defense, we're following up with one exhibit, counsel. Agent Golden, this again is munition seized from the trailer. Yes, offer 395, no objection, no objection. 395 may be admitted. Scrocky and Agent Golden, we had an earlier exhibit with those orange boxes on the top. Do you recall the caliber they were? 7.62. 7.62, and that's the box that opened up. It is. And there are numerous clips inside that ammo can, correct? Numerous clips and magazines I see as well. This one here, yes. And in the earlier photo, they were underneath those boxes, correct? Mr. Scrocky, if I could ask Your Honor, has Exhibit 63 been admitted? 6-3. Yes, sir. Yes, thank you. Could you put up the 394 to Defense Counsel? Agent Golden, do you recognize the two items shown in 390? I do. The one on the right, at least on my right, is associated with firearms. Yes. And is this the one on the left? Yes. And they were seized by the FBI online pursuant to the warrant of the trailer. Yes. To offer 390. No objection. No objection. No objection. 390 may be admitted. Scrocky, and believe Agent Golden on the right-hand side, we're looking at what types of items. There are rails, and we discussed earlier, and then other parts semi-automatic when we discussed earlier. Okay, does this round plastic associated with the forearm grip that you had earlier in the hand? No, yes. And this long item there, you call that a rail? And what are you familiar with and what it is? It's a holster. What kind of holster? A handgun holster. How does that work? It looks like a paddle type holster, so it just slides into your waistband. Inside, although the holster, this part goes on. That goes on the inside, correct? And then the leather. That pitch is hard to see, but the leather part down in the center is where it fits outside your pants. All right. What kind of firearm would fit into that? A handgun. Okay. Thanks, Sean. 442. Can we have the lights, Madam Clerk, when you have a second? All rise. His Honor, the court. This United States court is again in session. Please be seated. Bring the jury back in, if you will. All right. You may continue. Scrocky. Agent Golden, due to the technical difficulties, we start right back here at 422. That was an item that was seized from the trailer pursuant to your warrant. This one pursuant to state trooper warrant. Yes, excuse me. In what respect to that, did you have occasion to see the item in earlier testimony today? I did. Something like that? Yes. Okay. That would have been all out of the location. That would have been out of Schaefer Cox's residence. Okay, offer 422, no objection, no objection, no objection. It may be admitted. 422 admitted. If you could tell the jury what 422 is, this is a gas mask. And that came out of the trailer. It did. Agent Sutherland, if you could walk up to Exhibit 423 and 424, let's just say in numerical order if we could, just for ease of discussion. 423 is a box of items that came from the trailer. 423 is identified. Yes, it is. And earlier, we saw a photograph depicting those items as they were in the trailer, correct? And those items were seized by who in connection with the search warrant? They were seized by the Alaska State Troopers. The troopers seized it, and we have discussed to some of those items already there. Yes. Offer 423. No objection, no objection, no objection. Maybe admitted. 423 admitted. Scrocky, all set. Yes. With respect to that box, you see a police duty belt? I do. Can you pull that out? This was found from the trailer. Yes, it was. And did you see other duty belts in connection with this case in your early testimony? I did. Where were those located? Those were located in the box in the entryway at Schaefer Cox's residence. Okay, is there a restraining device in that belt? I'm sorry. Is there a restraining device? Oh, in that belt? Yes, those are handcuffs and a handcuff holder. And if I could have you look into the box, I'm hoping it's still on the top. Do you see another restraining device that you've already testified about? I do. That would be the thumb cuffs. Okay, there's another body protection device in the box, and I think it's in two pieces. Yeah, this is body armor, and there's an insert there. Yeah. Do you know what the insert is designed for? It's another plate. They're inside the vest. Every vest is different, actually. There's one on the outside. There's a place to put an extra plate on the body of the body armor. Okay, can you see earlier the photo of the item? You can put that down. Thank you. 389, the lockpick. Are those there? They are. Could you pull out those and show the jury? All right, thank you. That's all I have for thank you. Do you have 424 in front of you? I do. The seizure of the tag reflects who sees that. The Alaska State Troopers. Do you have occasion to see that at the search that day? I did. It came from the trailer. It did. It deals with the ammunitions. It does. Offer 424. No objection from anybody. It may be admitted. 424 admitted. Scrocky, if you could show the jury that and the rounds were taken out of before court and the exhibit 424 it is. Is there a caliber that you can see on that, on the bullets at all? Give me just a second. 7.62. Yes, thank you. We need 427. Scrocky, and for counsel, we all have 427. We got 002, 003, 15, slide conversing. Agent Golden, do you see Exhibit 427? I do. There is some documents in there. Plaintiff's Exhibit 427 identified. Yes, you're familiar with those documents? I am. Okay, there's Mr. Scrocky. And Sean, if you could scroll the defense counsel down, there's one going to be looking at 002. That's the part of the exhibit, is it not? It is. 003 is the back of it. Okay, Scrocky. And if Sean, you can go to 0015. Is that part of the document as well? Agent Golden, yes. We offer Your Honor Exhibit 427 and the attached documents for reference. No objection, no objection, no objection. 427 may be admitted. Scrocky, and if you can take us to the beginning of 427 and 002, thank you. If we could have the lights, Madam Clerk? You'll have to blow up that for her. Scrocky, Agent Golden, do you see what's up on the screen? I do. With reference to the Liberty Bell? I do. Could you read what's on? Let me ask you this. So, in the exhibit, it's a piece of paper or what? Show the jury what it looks like. It's a card that has writing on both the front and the back. It is laminated or just paper. It's heavy cardstock, but it isn't laminated. All right. Could you read what it says? To ring the Liberty Bell. The Liberty Bell operates under the 6,000-year-old common law system and the Fairbanks Common Law Court. There are only 2 laws in common law. Number one, do you all have agreed to do? Number 2, don't encroach on another people or their property. If you are being harmed by anyone who's breaking one of these laws, you can ring the Liberty Bell. Just call the Liberty Bell operator and we'll send the message instantly to thousands of people in Fairbanks who are willing to assist you. By ringing the Liberty Bell, you agree to stand before the common law court and explain your situation if asked to. The Liberty Bell number is 978-4299. I'm going to circle a couple of things here. Fairbanks Common Law Court. Did you see that? I do. There's a reference. Number 2. Can you read number 2 again? Don't encroach on other people or their property. And then it says if you ring the Liberty Bell, you're going to do what you agreed to do. What? Stand before the common law court and explain your situation if asked to. Is there a back page to the Liberty Bell card? There is. If you could go to 003 for me, Sean. If you could read that. When you receive a Liberty Bell call, go directly to the given location. Record everything. Weigh everything against the Constitution and the 2 laws of common law. Don't aggravate the situation. Don't draw conclusions from partial information. Defend all. Aggress none. But by responding to a Liberty Bell call, you agree to stand before the common law court and explain the situation. To be added as a Liberty Bell responder, you must 1, understand and agree with the spirit of the Liberty Bell system. Number 2, be willing to respond to a call. Number 3, email your cell phone number and name of service provider, ACS, AT&T, etc., to libertybell911@gmail.com. For more information, call 590-9903. Okay, thank you, Scrocky. If you could pull it up, 00015, Agent Golden. That's part of the Exhibit 427. It is. Do you recognize that list? I do. Have you seen it? You saw it before your testimony? I have. This has a number of checks on that list, correct? It does. And if you can just read the card and which ones are checked and which ones are not. Acts of war, number 1, check firearms restrictions or other disarmament. Number 2, checked declaration of martial law. Number 3, unchecked mandatory medical anything. Number 4, checked involuntary involvement in anything. Number 5, checked circumvention of juries. Number 6, checked confiscation of any property. Number 7 is not checked. Number 7 is not checked. Elimination of gold, cash or barter. Number 8, checked. Checkpoints of any kind. Number 9, checked. Federal patrols. Number 10, checked. Blockades or restrictions of essential goods. Number 11, checked. Political arrest. Number 12, checked. Suspension of courts. Number 13 is not checked. Chips or marks. Number 14 is checked. Child control. Number 15, checked. Federalization of law enforcement. Number 16, checked. Restriction of freedom of religion or speech. Number 17, checked. Surrenders of power to a corporation of foreign government. How many on the list deal with federal issues? I'm sorry, could you repeat the question? How many on the list under acts of war deal with federal issues? A number of them. Certainly number 9. Number 15 certainly does as well. A number of these are related to federal issues. Firearms can be related to federal issues. Juries can be related to federal issues. Okay, freedom of religion and speech. 4:20, council, it's noon. I've got a meeting at noon today. All right, so we're going to have to recess promptly, even though we lost a little time, and continue to follow the instructions about recess, folks. You may be excused, and we'll reconvene at 1:30 today. All rise. This matter is in recess until 1:30. Recess at 12 until 1:34. The clerk, all rise. His Honor, the court, United States is again in session. Please be seated. Ready to go? One matter, Your Honor. Yeah, we had requests from one of the local papers to provide them with exhibits, photographs, the like, and the trial days before the trials are from the trial days as the trial days are complete. We've had those requests before the media in some other cases. How we've handled it is through one of the staff in our office. Would you make the day's exhibits available after business hours and or for pickup the next morning? So we'd just like to advise the court about that. The court is public information. It is, just so you're not surprised. It's public information. I'm not going to do it, but no, if somebody we have that wants to do it, well, I guess I don't know any rule against it, nor do we. The freedom of press, among other freedoms that we enjoy. Scrocky, yeah. They just showed all this freaking malicious stuff, which is not illegal. Every redneck in Texas has all of that stuff, and we're going to go show it to the press, all this stuff that they had, how terrible and dangerous all these people are because they had black powder and thumb locks and lock picks. Oh my gosh. Oh God, this is sickening. The court, bring in the jury. The trouble with that is everybody The trouble is everybody involved in the case only wants them to print the stuff that's favorable to them, and the government, Scrocky, that never happens. The government and defense, it doesn't happen. Okay, you may proceed. Agent Golden, just a few more questions. If we could have for counsel 371 and 359, do you have 371 in front of you, Agent Golden? I do. Those two items that are on display in photographic purposes, yes. These were seized from the trailer, yes. Scrocky, Agent 359. This was the device that was removed from the trailer, as well as the two cartridges that go into the device, correct? We offer say 71, 359, no objection from anybody. They may be admitted. Thanks, Denali. Scrocky, with respect to 371, there are two items that are depicted there. One to the right in a black bottle. What is that? It's a unique smokeless powder. And to the left, J.B. Weld. 359, please. Can you tell the jury what's depicted in the item there, 359? That's the one of the 37mm launchers for the two, which can be used with the two Hornet's Nest cartridges that are sitting below it. Can you make out the Hornet's Nest on the right label, a warning label, and on the Hornet's Nest, on the launcher, on the Hornet's Nest, I can see warning. Can you see the word warning there? Yes, all right. With respect to the launcher, do you see a warning on that? I do. Where is it? It's at the top of the launcher. Can you read what it says from your display? Warning. Use only USCG approved flare, smoke, or gas rounds. Okay, do you know what a USCG is? Stands for, I know what it means, United States Coast Guard. Okay, Scrocky. If you can raise the lights, Denali, thank you. Agent Golden, with respect to all the things that we presented to you over your direct testimony, the firearms, the ammunition, and is that all the items that were obtained in the trailer? No. Okay, what else in terms of ammunition? Do you have understanding about how much ammunition in terms of rounds were found in the trailer? There was a lot of ammunition, thousands of rounds of ammunition. Okay, were those other firearms as well that were not taken from the trailer correct and presented here in court? That is correct. Sporting rifles and the like, yes. Scrocky, could you, indiscernible 420, if you could examine the top item in that box, Exhibit 420, yes. And what was that? That was seized by the FBI. No, this was seized by the Alaska State Troopers, by the troopers out of the trailer. It is associated with the Alaska Peacemakers. Is it associated with the Alaska Peacemakers militia? Plaintiff's Exhibit 420 identified. It is. Okay, we offer Exhibit 420. No objection from anybody. 420 is admitted. As to the item in the box, could you pull it out? All right, there it is. It's a little green shirt for the record, correct? Yes. Is there a patch on the left-hand shoulder? Yeah, there it is. What does that patch say? Defend all, Unit 1, aggress none. And there's some metallic items on the collar that I can see from there. Yes. How many metallic items are there? There's one on the left side of the collar, and then there are 8 independent metallic things on the right side. There appear to be like rivets. Yes, these are 8 rivets. Okay. Scrocky, there are all the questions I have for Agent Golden. Traverso, can you move that microphone closer to you, maybe in front on the way you're facing the court? Okay, Mr. Traverso, cross-examination. Starting the cross-examination of Mr. Traverso. Traverso, good afternoon. Good afternoon. You spent a lot of time going over the armament, munitions, and the sort. Were any of those items that you cannot buy at a gun show? Scrocky, foundation. She may answer if she knows. Traverser, you don't know. I don't know. You don't know if you don't know if they're dealing legal or illegal. Some of them, I don't know if they're legal or illegal. Okay, what about grenade bodies? Do you know that you can buy those? Do you know whether you can buy those at a gun show? I don't. You don't? Okay, now the J.B. Weld that you testified that was in the close proximity, but it was photographed on top of the box, was there any reason why the J.B. Weld wasn't photographed where it was found? Again, I don't know. I wasn't the photographer at the location. Okay, so I don't know why it wasn't photographed. Okay, exactly where it was found. I can say that the people that initially went into the trailer were the bomb technicians. Okay, so they would have seen it first. Okay, and they could have been the ones to move it out of the trailer. Yes, no, I mean, would they moved it any particular items like J.B. Weld or anything like that? They moved them out of the trailer, but beyond that, okay, I can't speak to what they did. Well, now most of the boxes when you went into the trail. Well, when you saw the trailer, with the exception of the bomb technicians who went there before you, yes, most everything was sealed, right? No, closed in boxes, enclosed in boxes, but the boxes were not sealed. Okay, but the boxes were closed, somewhat closed. Okay. The picture showed the flaps open at the top of the boxes. Okay. On some of them, not all. Did you see the kids' clothes in there? Did you see kids' clothes in there? There was clothing. I don't recall specifically sizes or tops of clothing. Did you see books in there? I vaguely recall some books. I don't recall what type. Did you see an electronic piano in there? I don't remember. Concertina? No. How about a construction tools? Yes. How about backpacking equipment? Yes. How about chainsaws? Yes, I do recall at least one. I believe one chainsaw. Okay, dishes? I don't specifically recall dishes. Okay, a wedding dress? And I don't recall that. Family photos, I do recall a number of photographs. I don't know if they were family photos, though. So, stuff you would display on the wall, some photographs I would specifically recall are 3.5 by 5, 4 by 6 photographs. All right. How about, well, did you see any dry food in there? Well, I believe there may have been some food. Again, I don't recall if it was canned goods or dry food, but I do believe there was some food. Okay, are police belts, buying police belts illegal? Not to my knowledge. Handcuffs? Not to my knowledge. Thumb cuffs? I don't believe so. Are you aware that people go to gun shows and buy armament? I know that there are gun shows and people go to them. I don't. You frequent gun shows, so I can't. You never go speak to a gun show? Okay. I can't speak to what? All right. Other people do at gun shows. Well, you're with the FBI. Do you ever follow up on websites that sell armament at all? Not in the types of cases that I work. No. Okay, all right. Traversal. Do you see it, Your Honor? All right. I may have to bring it up closer to you. Indiscernible. Traversal. You'll need to pick up that lapel mic. Traversal. Okay, thank you. Now, why don't you put a little back? Why don't you put that back a little further and a little more square so all the jurors can see what you're going to point at. Traversal. I may need to bring it up closer or have her come up to indiscernible. Traversal. Do you remember this from yesterday? I do. Traversal. Can everybody see it? Stand on this side of it, counsel. I'll stand over here. You're going to need to hold the microphone up. Traversal. Okay, clerk, thank you. Yesterday you testified that just a second. Okay, you're blocking the jury from the exhibit. Traversal. Okay, you're pointing to, I apologize, and we need to identify the exhibit by number that's on the easel. Okay, 148. Okay, exhibit 148. When you testified yesterday, you read, I believe it was item. It's hard to believe to read this. Can you see that? Yes. Plainclothes. Can you see this here? No, I don't believe this. That was one of the words that I couldn't read. Okay, but yesterday it read as lethal. Is it fair to say that there's another word in front of lethal? Yes, there is. Okay, it could be no lethal or it could be non-lethal. It could be something. The clerk, I'm sorry, we're not picking you up. Of the sort, could it be non-lethal? It could be. I can't read that word. All right, thank you. When you conducted a search of the items in the trailer, did you separate the items that you felt that had nothing to do with munitions and armament into a different category? No. I guess physically, yeah. Separate them, yeah. Well, the items that you wanted to seize were pulled out of them, so I guess in the sense they were just separated. Okay, but like when you were, did you have inventory of the items that weren't rifles and weren't grenade bodies and weren't bullet rounds? Did you do anything of the sort where you made a list of what else was on the trailer besides those items? No, the only list was the items seized. Okay, and I failed to ask you, did you see any toys around the trailer inside there? I don't remember. No, okay. There were a lot of miscellaneous things in the trailer, would you say? Yeah. But you were following the track of the search warrant and not anything else, correct? Correct. I was looking for the items listed in the search warrant. Oh, right. How many different people units were searching this trailer? I don't have any report in front of me. We had a number of individuals there of people actually physically searching, including the bomb technicians, firearms individual that was there. I would say 6 searchers, and that's a guess without my report in front of me. All right, Mr. Scrocky, and through Mr. Sutherland, showed you a silencer, a 22 with a silencer on it. Yes, do you remember that? I do. Rather than go pulling it out again and taking it up our court time, did you notice the silencer, the rubber portion that was used to make the silencer? Okay, we're on page 151, and I got to take a break. All right, let's get another few pages in. Page 151. Court time. Did you notice the silencer, the rubber portion that was used to make the silencer? I saw the silencer, if that's okay. Did it seem to you something that was bought in a store or was homemade? You don't know? I don't know. Okay, did you notice that some of the items had mildew on it? I do recall that. I do recall some of the items, some of the boxes, and some of the things toward the bottom of the boxes being wet and mildewy, yes. Everything was wet. Okay, and did you see the grenade bodies? Some of those were rusted. I can't say I didn't expect at that time. I didn't inspect every grenade body. Okay, do you know if those grenade bodies are operable? I'm not a bomb technician, sir. It's a freaking empty grenade shell. It's a piece of metal. It's not operable. I'm not a bomb technician. Oh my goodness. How about the fuses? Same thing, I don't know. Okay, did you notice if there were any tap sets? For the grenade shell, to drill it into a grenade. I don't even know what that is. Okay. Did you see any bolts that fit into a grenade bodies? I can't say. I wasn't trying to fit anything into the grenade. Okay, so I can't speak to that. Okay, so now the Browning that you found, are you saying that the 30 caliber rounds that you found had matched the particular would fit in that Browning? I can say they're 30 caliber rounds. Okay, that's what I can say. All right. You also testified that you found pick locks. Yes. Okay. Did they look brand new to you? I would say no. Okay, and people use those for business primarily. You know, to keep, say you have a storage facility and someone gets locked out of the storage facility, they can use a pick to open it up for them. Are you aware of anything like that? I know the capacity that I've used them in, so, and that's okay. Meant to pick locks? Oh, okay, sure. Okay, what were the Hornet's Nest canisters in the launcher when you went into the trailer? I didn't see them first. When they came to me, the Hornet's Nest cartridge or canisters were not in the launcher. Okay, and are you familiar with at all with Tanner? You're not familiar. I guess you're not familiar with Tannerite, are you? I am not. Okay. Did you see any pepper spray other than the pepper spray that you testified to in any of the other storage containers? I don't recall any other pepper spray canisters. Okay. In the box that you were shown with a JB Weld, did you see the measuring tape that was in there? That was inside the box? Yes. I don't recall that, but I don't have a picture in front of me either. It would have been exhibit the utility box, 334, the brown bag, brown orange utility bag. It had construction tools and a tape measure. Did you see that in there? I don't know. I don't recall that. What? Okay. What you're referring to? Okay. That was the bag that had the gas mask, the body armor, and there was a firearm on top of it. I think you don't remember it. I know that what you're talking about, but if okay, you have a picture that may refresh my memory. All right. Well, I think it's going to be examined a little further here. Okay. When you're going through any of the items, did you find there was some sort of saran wrap on some of these, on a lot of the items that were in the trailer? Oh, so yes. Okay. I have no further questions. Thank you, Mr. Dooley. I'm looking at Exhibit 63. I hope. Has that popped up at all? I'm not seeing it on that either. Maybe a technician who pushes buttons. Wouldn't this be simpler if a plaintiff counsel's technician did it? Just ask him. Yes, it would. Why don't you just ask him what you want up and he'll put it up, if you don't mind? What number, Tim? Here, I'll do it. 63, I'll put it up. You can put it up. All right, we'll do it that way. Thank you. I'm hoping it'll be Exhibit 63. It's up. It's up. Could you dim the lights, please? Looking at Exhibit 63 you identified before, I wanted to make sure what is in the lower left there. It looks like a tube of shaving cream, but maybe not. Are you referring to the circular black? Yes. Item that has the red line on it? Yes. I believe that, what was it? Was smokeless powder. Smokeless powder. All right, thank you. Let me get myself set up here a bit better. 346, if you would. Exhibit 346 shows a number of boxes of ammunition. All of those boxes of ammunition are legal, correct? I can't speak to whether ammunition is legal or not. I'm not a firearms person. He's not a firearms person. We'll check on the next one here. Maybe you'll end up telling me to jump in a lake for a while. This is all legal ammunition. That's pretty interesting. Maybe you'll end up telling me to jump in a lake for a while. This is all legal ammunition? Again, I'd be guessing, and I don't have anything. Okay. To base that on, I don't want to do that. Let me quit picking on you about that topic. A launcher isn't a firearm. Do you know anything about launchers? I don't. I mean, I can speak to what we seized. Let's go to 371. This is the picture of a unique smokeless powder and some JB Weld. They weren't found next to each other, but this is the material seized out of the trailer. Yes, it is. Each of these packages was fingerprinted, correct? They were sent to the lab. The JB Weld had, I think it's fingerprint powder on it. Okay, but it doesn't show up here yet. These were no photograph before fingerprinting. Correct. They were fingerprinted locally. I don't know. All right. I provided them to the case agent, and the case agent took care of sending things to the lab. Okay, we'll skip that then. Just one thing here. I'm on 386. In the upper left corner of the driver's license, it says a minor thing, driver's license, motorcycle, correct? And it might be right here, easy to read. Oh, yes, I'm sorry. Yes, there it is. Driver's license, motorcycle. Thank you. Looking at 585 now. And this is, I think, you identified as OCCS, Hornet's Nest. I'm looking at the 4 cylinders at the lower left. Those are all called Hornet's Nest, I think. Correct. And there are red labels on there. Those are the price tags. I don't know, sir. Okay, and I'm 62 now. These things look like they're packed for shipping. Do you think so? Which items are you speaking of? The things wrapped in visqueen bubble wrap. Yeah, they all wrapped together. All of the grenade shells which you seized had holes in the bottom. Yes, I believe they all did. None of them had any explosives in them. At the point that I saw them, they did not. Again, I was not the first person to have eyes on them. How soon after they came out of the trailer did you see them? pretty quickly, but it was the bomb technician's job to make them if something needed to be rendered safe prior to giving it to me. So when I saw them, they did not have any explosives in them, and they had holes in the bottom. And it was a matter of seconds from the time they handed them to you. It depended. Sometimes they spent several minutes examining things. Okay, so it's hard to say. Were you, for each item, watching them while they did it? No. The fuses, they were only 4 fuses that could actually operate, correct? Again, sir, I'm not a bomb technician. I don't know. Okay, so I'll stop picking on you about that. I have no further questions. Miss Hayden, good afternoon. Good afternoon. When was the trailer first located? It was at the ice park. I believe so, yes. And then it moved to a hangar at the airport, yes. To conduct the search, yes. Now this trailer, do you know who it belonged to? I don't know. I don't recall who it was registered to. Let me ask you to look at 2 photographs. We're going to put them up side by side. This will be the government's exhibit 339 and 343. I'm sorry, the numbers again, please. 339, 343. Thank you. Do you have those in front of you? I do. Now, 343 is a picture of the grenade bodies in the plastic bucket. I can't see the numbers. Is that on the right or the left? Which one are you referring to? It's on the left. Okay, yes, that's 339 on the left. Actually, I can see the numbers now. Okay, and those are the grenade bodies in the plastic bucket, correct? Okay, and 343, those are the same grenade bodies just laid out for the purposes of taking photographs. That is correct. Okay, now these grenade bodies appear to have what I would call handles, blue handles. Maybe they're called the spoon. Did you see that, the blue on them? I do. They weren't all blue, but yes, I see what you're referring to. Okay, and isn't it true that the blue designates this as being practice grenades? Again, I don't know. I'm not a bomb technician or explosive person. Okay, well, isn't it true that the fuses on the practice grenades can't ignite a grenade? Again, I'm not the right person to be asking that question to. Okay, these all had holes in them, correct? Miss Hayden, that's all the questions I have. Okay, that's all the questions I have. Thank you, Scrocky. Nothing further. The court, okay, thank you, Golden. Thank you. You may be excused. You may call your next questions. The government calls FBI Special Agent Angela Strauss. If you'll step up to the witness box, face forward, raise your right hand. Sworn, yes, I do. Thank you. Direct examination. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. For the record, could you please state your name and spell your last name? My name is Angela Strauss. The court, pull that over and speak right into it. That's good. My name is Angela Strauss, S-T-R-A-U-S-E. And where do you work? I'm employed as a special agent for the Federal Bureau of Investigation. How long have you been working with the FBI? For 2 years. What were you doing prior to that? Prior to that, I was a paralegal at the U.S. Attorney's Office in Baltimore, where I attended law school. And did you graduate from law school? Yeah. What are your current roles and responsibilities as a special agent? I investigate as a member of the Joint Terrorism Task Force. I investigate all sorts of cases related to national security, and I am also, as a collateral duty, I am a member of the Evidence Response Team. Can you tell the jury a little bit about the Evidence Response Team? The Evidence Response Team is basically a specialized group of people who call to collect evidence and execute search warrants on persons and property. And where are you currently assigned? I'm currently assigned to the Anchorage Division. Can we turn now to March 10th, 2011? Do you remember that? Yes, I do. Were you involved in this investigation? Yes. Can you describe in general terms what your role was that day? That day I was tasked to assist the Evidence Response Team in executing a search warrant on the residence of Coleman Barney, located in North Pole, Alaska. So you had a search warrant, yes. And how the FBI was participating in that search? And yes. Were there other agencies that participated in the search with you? Yes, the Alaska State Troopers also participated pursuant to a state search warrant. I'd like to show what has been identified as Exhibits 160 and 161. If we could show those just to the witness and defense counsel, please. Do you recognize Exhibit 160? Yes, I do. And can you describe what that is? It's an aerial photograph of the resident that we searched on March 10th, 2 stories on one side and then a 1-story portion, as well as the outbuildings. And whose home was that? That was the home of Coleman Barney. Okay, Miss Lamoureux, let's move to 161. And what do you see there? That's the same residence, just a shot from the street view of a different angle. Miss Lamoureux, at this time the government would offer evidence at 160, 161, no objection, ×3. That may be omitted. That may be admitted. For the jury, let's look at 160. You described this as an aerial photo, is that correct? And does that snow reflect the time of year that you were conducting the search? Yes, it does. There was about that much snow when you were there, about that much, yeah. Let's turn to 161. Can you tell the jury that you see there, that's a different angle, a street view angle of the same residence, 2-story area, and then the 1-story? You can't see the outbuildings in this photo, but they're in the aerial shot. Speaking of the buildings, can we go back to 160? Can you describe what the buildings are? On the upper right-hand side of the picture, the connex top buildings, as well as there directly to the right of the house, are several small buildings, and there's a sort of like child's play area. As far as I know, they were the only other buildings that were searched. Okay, so the outbuildings that you referred to are those? Yes, just above. Okay, that line, yes. And this item here, that's the connex box. And there also a trailer, yes. Sorry, there's a white trailer and there's a white Conex box and red one behind it. I'm not sure how to do that arrow, but that's where the trailer is. Is that what? Yes. You referring to? Yes. Great. Thank you. Now, do you also search the home yourself that day? Yes, I was part of the search team. And what room or rooms did you search in the house? Immediately as you're walking in the two-story portion of the residence, it opens into a kitchen, into the bathroom turned closet storage area. I searched that area, as well as assisted other people in searching the remainder of the house, but that was the primary area that I searched. And did you actually go into every room of the house? Yes, I did. And what was your role with regard to items that were found in other rooms of the house? I was designated as a seizing agent to take possession of all the items that were seized that day and transport them to our evidence technician. And you're referring to the items taken into FBI custody? Yes. And I'd like to show you just the witness defense counsel now, photo 168 and 169. So 168, what does that show? That's an overall shot of the storage storage closet I was referring to just from the entryway. The one that you searched, yes. Okay, on 169, that is a close-up shot of a box containing some handwritten notes. That was in the room, yes. That was in, okay, the same room. I'd like to offer 168, 169, no objection times 3, 168, 169 admitted. We'll show the jury now 168 here. This is the room that you described, yes. You searched, yes it is, and it was, and where in the house? It's on the first floor as soon as you walk in the side entrance. It's in the bathroom turned storage area off the kitchen. And where the items that found in the room fell within the scope of your search warrant? Yes. Let's move to 169. What are we looking at there? There's a close-up of the shot of the yellow notebook. In particular, had a bunch of handwritten notes on it, and the item just went to the right of that map is Fort Wainwright. There was a bunch of handwritten materials in that box. That was what was seized. Okay, I'd like to now hand you what's been marked for identification at Exhibit 203, and counsel, you should have a copy of that in your binders. In general terms, without showing the jury, can you describe what that item is? It's a yellow notebook, just a notepad, like a legal notepad. Then one that you just described that you seized from the room, yes. At this time, the government would offer Exhibit 203, no objection times 3. It's been admitted. I'd like to turn to page 3. Can you read the top line of the notebook page? Call and remind tomorrow and give directions. And then do you see the list of names there? Yes. At this time, I was going to inquire of certain witnesses, but if defense counsel would prefer, can go through every name. Do you have an objection to me just asking the specific items on each page? Go ahead. We'll see if they object. I would go through everything on every page well, how many pages are we talking? We can go page by page. All right. On this page, can you go ahead and read the list of names, please? Robbie Wilson, Boss Joe, Larry Dodson, Bill Lothrop, Randy Dowley, Alan Gustafson, Sam Barney, Elian Mitchell, J.R. Olson, Randy that calls the radio all the time, Wes Price, and the phone number 488-8072, Barnett Brothers, Dave Sheriff's boyfriend, Travis Planback, Rob Kalperbrain, followed by phone number 490-6837, Sean Cowrie, or Lowry, 488-1899, Gary McLean, 385-0333, Dad's Good Friends, Wyman, 488-1979, 750-161-162, Michael, Brother Ames, 488-7883, 388-6781. And then on the left-hand side, there's an indication of either it's going by certain people's names with a circle around it, yes, and there's a check mark next to the first 3 names, for example, yes. I'd like to turn to page 4 now. Can you go ahead and read the page, please? Yes, bring cameras and recorders and exit team. It's a list of 1 to 6, no IDs, no valuables. Number 2, no escalation. Number 3, don't talk to cops unless they are about to put hands on you. You better understand what just happened there. If you touch me, you're acting in defiance of law at your own peril. Number 4, do not run. Be of good cheer. Cops' line of control: ignore presence, ignore voice, comply but stay force. Number 6, do not give name, do not consent, keep objecting. Let's move to the next page, please. Can you describe what you see on this page? It's a sketch of a building, 2-story building, and there is descriptors and arrows pointing in various directions. Let's focus on the top portion of the page, okay? What are the words that are written in there? To the right of the top, it says judge exit. Below that, it says to jail, and then cops exit to garage. And then on the left-hand side, hall, and on the bottom, it says hall as well. Okay, now let's move to the bottom portion of the page. What's the left-hand corner, bottom left-hand corner show? It's 201. Then it has to say words balcony written twice, and then it shows stairs. Yes, areas and stairs, stairway down. Then exit to the first floor. Let's move to the next page. Can you blow up the section that we're going to that has the print on it? Thank you. Can you go ahead and read that, please? It's titled Material. Number 1 is pistol, rifle, gas mask, body armor, ammo, mags, mag holders, grenades, grenade launchers, radios or phones, gear and car, park close, be early to park close. After Schaefer's closing, words, quickly get to cars, get geared up, concealed, back to courtyard, fan out and observe until exit team comes out. Give everyone media one-liners, call as many witnesses as I can get to show, bring cameras, recorders, and one-liners. Sew patches on Val's shirt. Let's go to the next page. What do you see on the left-hand side of that page? It's a list of names broken down into 3 separate groups. And on the right-hand side, it's titled Exit. And there's another list of names. What's the list of names below Exit? Scott Walker, Bill Rensel, Lonnie Vernon, Joe Nichols, J.R. Olson. It looks like Val Marchbanks, and then it has it crossed out, and that's Greg Anderson. And then next to that, it's written the word either. What are the names on the left-hand side of the page? Coleman Barney, Mike McCandless, do either Gary Brockman, Jerry Sparger, Tim Fanfelt, Ben Fanwick, do either 388-4675, Val Marchbanks, Adam Marchbanks, Bill Barney, Bill Lathrop, and May Barney. Okay, what's written next to those 3 names? There's a parenthetical that says Marty's Escort. Okay, and the notes at the bottom, can you read those? It says Schaefer Mountain Climbing Partner, and then Tea Party at Courthouse or nearby protesting something unrelated, and have the group merge on the courthouse at the time our event has started. Get Adams chairs and tables. Okay, Miss Lamoureux, let's move to the next page. What do you see on top of the left-hand side of the page? It's titled Courthouse Exit Team, and then to the right-hand side, what does it say? Courthouse Security. Okay, let's start at the Courthouse Exit Team on the left there. What are the names there below it? The first one is Ken Thessing, and the left is written in command, and under Thessing is Scott Walker, Bill Rensel, Lonnie Vernon, Joe Nichols, J.R. Olson, Greg Anderson, and then further down, Tim Vanfelt extra, and Dave has an extra. And underneath the Courthouse Security, what does it say? There it says teams, and then what? There are 3 separate teams, primary Mike McCandless, secondary Val Marchbanks, secondary Adam Marchbanks, and in the parenthetical next to that, it says Judge Bartels. Below that, the primary for the second team is Bill Fenwick, and command secondary Coleman and secondary Gary Brockman, and the parenthetical behind is Schaefer. Primary for the third team is Bill Barney, secondary Bill Lathrop, and secondary May Barney, and in the parenthetical next to that is Marty. And there's a name for an extra, Jeremy Sparger. Can you please enlarge the bottom of half of the page, please? Can you go ahead and read that, please? It's titled KJNP Security Details. Number 1 is, so Saturday or Sunday and check out the layout of the area. Number 2 is come up with security strategy. Also, emergency exit strategy and man placement with radios. Number 3 is see about plugging in work lights and have cords and splitters and work lights. Number 4 is bring trailer and block driveway. Number 5, have man in front of driveway or road or midway, and have everyone else placed in the zone coverage around building with regular check-ins on radio. Have 6+ men on morning security detail plus any exit team members that are available. I have more than enough guys to secure the area, and they have extras hang outside of the perimeter or stand for backup. Number 8, line guys out security strategy Tuesday while at safe houses. Have a details team start scoping out KJNP early. Okay, you see that on your original notebook that you're reading right there? Yeah. Can we see that? We're not able to see that on the scan. Is that right? It's cut off on the bottom. Can you read number 9 again? Have a detail team start scoping out KJNP early. Let's move on the next page. What is this title? To-do list. Can you go ahead and blow that up, please? Yes. Okay, if you could read that. Number 1, call guys, give them a time to meet. Number 2, get punch list of what gear each guy needs. Number 3, lay out game plan for both locations. Number 4, meet either Monday night or Tuesday. Enough time to go over the plan and distribute gear, but for sure Tuesday and plenty of time before event. Number 5, take chairs and tables to Adams. Number 6, check out KJNP, study landscape, entry and exit, and emergency exit, and standby team, staging area. Scott's van would work good for standby team. That's the parenthetical. Number 7, get body armor, gas mask, 8 radios with earpieces. The number 6 line there, you said, check out KJNP, parenthesis, study landscape, entry, and EM. You read EM to be emergency? Yes. Exit, okay, sorry, yes. Let's go ahead and move to the next page. Can you read that page? It's titled, Got Railroaded, and then a question mark. Alaska Court System of Fraud, in quotes. Public meeting December to 6:30 p.m. Carlson Center. And then there's an email address or 2 email addresses on the side. Okay, and that's the item you seized from that room, correct? And yes. And then you collected items as the other agents found them through the house. Is that right? Yes. Okay, I'd like to turn now, just show you and the defense counsel that's marked as Exhibit 181 and then 182. Do you recognize that photo? Can you just describe it generally if you do? Yes. This is an overall shot of a box in the office area on the first floor. Miss Lamoureux then, and then can we move to 182? This is the same box, just from a different angle, looking at it from another storage area. And what room is that? This is the office as well of the same room, Coleman Barney's house. Yes, Ms. Lamoureux, the government offers Exhibit 181 and 182. No objection times 3, they may be admitted. If you could show 181, can you describe what you see there? This is the office of the residence of the first floor. It's a box containing some items. Did FBI seize that box on the floor? Yes. Ms. Lamoureux, let's move to 182. What do you see there? This is an overall shot of the same room and the same box, just from a different angle. Okay, I'd like to show you now what's marked for identification Exhibit 190, 191, and once Agent Sutherland brings them to you, if you could just review them and generally describe them, and before showing them to the jury, that'd be great. Okay, can we Have the lights, please. Looking at 190. Do you recognize them? Was that the item seized on March 10, 2011? Yes, it was. This was a box. These were found where? Contained in the office room located just off the kitchen. The government's offers Exhibit 190, 191. No objection, times 3. I'd like to see what's in the box. Oh, I'm sorry. Come and look. Okay, any objection? No, sir. All right. The ruling stands. They are admitted, Your Honor. The court, yes, sir. Thank you. Can we turn to Exhibit 190, please? Yes. Can you go ahead and take the item out of the wrapping, and can you hold up for the jury? Can you describe what it is? This is a 37 millimeter launcher. Can you move closer to the light, Mike? Sorry, it's a 37 millimeter launcher. And where was that found? This was located within the box in the office area, and this is a warning written on that, on the item itself. On the item, if you turn the item over, only U.S. Coast Guard approved flares, smoke, or gas rounds, and 37 millimeter launcher, and there's number written on it as well. Okay, and you can put that away. Now let's turn to the items in Exhibit 191. Can you describe 191 is? These are the items that were seized along with the launcher. They were both in the same box. They are several different things. There's a bore brush in one of the bags. You don't want me to take everything out. You don't need to take it out of the bag, but maybe just, okay, hand it up, show it, and so the jury can see it. There's a bore brush. It is in the bag because it was sent to the lab. I believe so. Yes, there's another bag that contains popsicle stick as well as a pellet. It's hard to see the pellet. Another contains instructions on a 37 millimeter wildlife control banger instructions. Another item contains just metal components, and the other item is there's several bags of these just projectile components. There is at least 5 or 6 bags of these, all like this. Can you hold up some of the other bags so yes, the jury can see them? Some of these are plastic. I'm sorry. Do you need gloves? Or those? Do you need gloves? Are those dirty or they're okay? Okay. It's all right. I'm wearing black. There's probably 6 more in here like this. Several of them are yellow plastic, and they are the ones are the cardboard. And are they? They are empty inside. Yes, right now they're empty inside. Is there anything else in the box? No, that's all. Can you actually hold up the box? That was the box that they were in. And is that correct? The box? Yes. That you seized? Yes. Okay. Can you go ahead and show that the jury what the box looks like? And if you can, I'm not sure the best way to keep the mic close to you. But you read the label that's on the box itself, please. There's a return address. It's from American Ammo, P.O. Box 817, Wadsworth, Ohio, 44218, telephone number 330-760-3523, and it's addressed to Robert Carr, K-A-R-R, 503 7th Avenue, Fairbanks, Alaska, 99701. And is there a postmark date anywhere on there? It's postmarked August 13th of 2010. Do we have gloves? I'd like you to open up a bag of the instructions. Okay. Thank you, Madam Clerk. You're welcome. Can you please read the instructions slowly to us since we don't have it and we're not able to read them along with you? Sure, thank you. 37 millimeter wildlife control banger instructions. Number 1, place solid wood plug, in parenthesis, no hole, into the end of the paper tube using hot glue all the way around the plug and make it flush with the bottom. Number 2, place no more than 40 grains of GOEX brand Triple F black powder. Number 3, drop wood plug with hole in tube until it stops on the powder. Danger, do not press hard or force plug into place. Number 4, push a number 3-inch piece of cannon fuse into the hole in wood plug until it stops completely. Number 5, fill remainder of the tube with hot glue, making sure the glue reaches the top of the tube. Number 6, immediately place paper disc with hole on top of the tube, making sure the fuse pushes out of the hole, sealing the projectile completely. Wait for the glue to cool and then cut fuse so that only 1/4 inch sticks out. Number 7, place no more than 65 grains of Triple F black powder into the 37 millimeter hole. Number 8, place rubber band around the fuse and projectile approximately 1/4 inch from top. Number 9, press number 209 shotgun primer into the opening of the flat side of the yellow hole. Push projectile fuse end down into the hole by hand. Do not press hard. There should be no visible markings or discoloration of bulging the plastic hole. That's it for the instructions, and then there's just a photo. Is there anything else on the back page? There's a second piece of paper here from the American Specialty Ammo. And what does that say? Read before attempting to construct any 37 millimeter round, and it's just a list of 13 things. What are the 13 things? Number 1, check federal, state, local laws before constructing any 37 millimeter round. Laws vary from state to state and town to town. Number 2, buyer assumes all risk involved in loading, reloading, constructing, and using 37 millimeter cartridges. Number 3, buyer understands loading and reloading and constructing 37 millimeter rounds can be extremely dangerous. Number 4, constructing, possessing, and or using anti-personnel rounds with an unregistered launcher is prohibited by federal law. Before you construct, possess, and or use any anti-personnel rounds, you must first register your launcher as a destructive device with the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms and Explosives. Pay the appropriate tax and wait for your approval. Number 5, the ATF does not give second chances or slaps on the wrist. If you are found guilty of owning an unregistered destructive device, you will likely be sentenced to a mandatory prison sentence. Ignorance of the law is not an excuse. Number 6, check with the manufacturer of your 37mm device to determine what is safe for your launcher. All launchers are not created equal. Some rounds are not safe to fire from all devices. Number 7, with an unregistered 37mm launcher, never use more than 1/4 ounce of an explosive material. This includes your lift, charge, and payload. If you're not sure, buy a scale. They're cheap and worth the investment. Number 8, 1/4 ounce is approximately 109.375 grams. If you have an unregistered launcher, do not exceed this. Number 9 is written in all caps. Never use flash powder in a 37mm round. It will most likely cause your launcher to blow up in your face and maim or kill you. Number 10, many 37mm rounds present a risk of starting a fire. Make sure to test all 37mm rounds in a safe area. It is recommended for initial testing to have a fire extinguisher on hand just in case. Make sure you load your projectiles so they go out and before reaching the treetops or grounds. There are an unlimited number of variables that can affect the altitude performance of your 37mm round type of launcher, whole or back. Or black powder. You are using an environmental variable such as wind, temperature, and humidity. Number 11, this reloading information is intended for informational purposes only. Hold on.